Hello. Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing? It's finally time for Cobblemon Vulkan's 2026 Quarter 4 Championship Tournament. Hope everyone's ready for some amazing battles. Ooh, that's loud. Hope everyone's ready for some amazing battles between our great competitors. We're gonna go over everyone's teams as well as the rule set just a little bit, and we'll be getting into stuff. Stylin, how you doing today? He's my co-host.
Doing pretty good, Jet. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good, man. Let's see that we got a couple people here to watch, ready to go. Hope everyone in game's doing good. How are y'all doing? I don't know about you, Stylin. I am really ready to see a lot of these people go against each other. We saw a lot of them kind of challenging each other throughout the season, the leading up to the tournament, as well as, you know, getting ready with the monthly melees that we had. We're going to see some great rematches coming up here soon. Mm-hmm. And, you know, just excited to see some great matches.
Yeah, lots of familiar faces. Got some new faces in here too. Of course, we have Nubliest opening up in round 1, who is the champion of not our most recent monthly melee, but the one back in September, as well as both Dream Eater and Viri, both finalists for the previous monthly melee back in October.
Yep.
So,
yeah, no, obviously we saw some of them bring some really interesting teams in the past, and I'm excited to hopefully see some reruns on those. Things have changed a little bit, obviously, with some of the new legendaries being available. And, you know, we'll see what we end up seeing brought most this tournament. You got any predictions for the teams brought?
I know we're going to see a ton of Mega Rayquaza.
Yeah.
I'm very interested to see when we finally get our Mega Ray team versus Mega Ray team, who comes out on top and how each competitor plays that differently.
Absolutely.
Lots of interesting team compositions for this tournament. Some things being brought that I wouldn't have seen coming, so I'm very interested to see how that plays out.
Definitely, yeah. We'll just take a look at the bracket here in just a moment. See if I can get that up real quick. The ladder, here we go. There we go. So you can see first off is going to be Nubliest and Vazi. We've seen Nubliest in one of our previous tournaments. He did really well. Versus Vazi, who's going to be a newcomer. Directly after that, we're going to see Atreen, which is another newcomer, facing Dream. Dream being one of our league reps, as well as Nubliest. Nubliest just joined as a league rep just this past week, didn't he?
Yeah, it's only been a few days.
Yeah, so I'm very excited to see what he can do. Dream has been a league rep with us for quite a while, and so, you know, I'm excited to see him face off against everyone in this tournament and see if he can come out on top. Atreen is, of course, another newcomer. We got Cosmic, one of our very own admins, and Drag, who, unfortunately, this previous foray into the tournament, the last time that we tried to do it, was a bit cursed. You know, my Ram ended up dying on me. Drag got into an accident, so lots of things popped off like right at the end there. That just kind of kept it from happening.
Yeah, it just was not meant to be last week, but we're back and we're gonna do it, and it's gonna be great. I've got a lot of faith in everybody. Of course, we have our final match in technically round 2 of the bracket, but our first series of matches. Is going to be between Lantern and Viri. Viri having an outstanding show of force back in our October melee, and Lantern being somewhat new, also newly signed on to be a league rep as well. So
Yes, yeah, and he's been providing some great insight on different things. So I'm really excited to see what he can do. And he was one of our top competitors in one of our previous monthly melees. So I'm really excited to see where we're going from here. Moving on, let's take a look at the different teams. Let me get this pulled up real quick.
yeah, these neat little team cards that are going to be coming up on the stream that Jet put together, just sort of laying out everyone's mons, their move sets, appropriate Terra typings, held items, and abilities, as well as showing off everyone's in-game avatar.
Yep, let's see. There we go. So, starting off, let's look at who we got going up first. So we're going to have Nublius. Nublius is running a team of Rayquaza, Incineroar, Annihilate, Magnezone, Gastrodon, and Whimsicott. And I guess now's the perfect time for me to talk about our rule set a little bit. In Quarter 4 of Cobblemon Vulkan's 2025 Championship Tournament, we're going to be running our Regulation B format with no additional rules. What that essentially means is Megas are allowed, Terrestrialization is allowed, no gimmicks that involve Pokemon being completely immune to any damage, so no Mega Shedinja, or no Terra Electric Shedinja, no shenanigans like that. However, we're going to be seeing some very interesting interactions with Mega Ray, as well as, setting up Delta Stream and some of the other Pokemon on different teams. I know some people are also running Kyogre and Groudon, because we just did our big Gen 3 drop recently and had those legends become available.
Yeah, for sure. That Delta Stream Mega Ray is going to be definitely a game changer for some of these teams. I think some people have built specifically around powering the Mega Ray and just turning that thing into a cannon. Whereas other people went for a more generalist approach with some control, some intimidators, some tailwind strats. So it's definitely going to be it's going to be a wide variety of strategy just looking at these teams.
Yeah, I think so as well. One thing to note as well is something that we learned during our research is that if you have a Rayquaza that has the ability to Mega, due to knowing Dragon Ascent, that kind of locks it out of being able to Terra at all. It was an unfortunate thing that came up just as a limitation of Mega Showdown. And, because of that, we're having to, a lot of the competitors kind of had to change up what they wanted to do with it a little bit. They kind of wanted that to be a little safe thing that they could do. But now, unfortunately, we're kind of locked out of it. So even running Rayquaza, that it can't Terra.
Yeah. Thankfully, Delta Stream is going to just straight up eliminate super effective moves against one of its typing. So even though it can't Terra, it's still going to have that little bit of extra defensive capability.
That is
once
true.
It goes Mega.
Absolutely, yeah. Looking at our other competitor in round 1 is going to be Vazzy. Vazzy is one of the only people not running Rayquaza, instead opting for Celesteela. Also running it with a Lucario, Mismagius, Toxicroak, Hariyama, and Dusclops. Looking at them going against each other, let's take a look real quick. So looking at the two, it really is. What's your prediction on this? Just looking at some of the different team compositions, who do you think is going to struggle the most here?
The one thing that jumps out at me that might be a bit problematic for Vazzy going into this matchup is Vazzy has 3 fighting types. Now, granted, they all have different Terra types, so when he Terras one, it may very well alleviate some of this. But having 3 Pokemon of the exact same type, all sharing weaknesses, could be a big hole in the strategy there. But I have full faith that Vazzy's got something up his sleeve to make this a little bit more of a non-issue.
Absolutely.
that Celesteela rocking an absolute crazy just wall set too.
Yeah, definitely. And as well as that, I think that one of the things that New Blaze had hoped to kind of get away with was obviously normal Terra Rayquaza, which I think really would have helped him in this, specifically against Miss Magus and Dusclops. And possibly against, like, if there is any opposing Annihilates, of course, because I know that they love to go for, like, Shadow Claw and Shadow Punch. That being said, it kind of doesn't allow him that option, so it's really going to be interesting to see how he decides to go about that.
Yeah, interestingly enough, the inability to go that Terra normal into this, taking that off the table kind of makes it so that he can't accidentally himself into being weak to these three different fighting types that are on Vazi's team as well, though. So kind of a double-edged sword, a little bit of good, a little bit of bad.
Yeah, absolutely. I think without further ado, I think it's time to start round one, don't you think?
Yeah, let's get it going. All right, I see we have our spectator link in our competitive chat.
Yes, we do. Just getting it up on stream right now. Let me mess with this just a little bit. There we go, that's about good right there. Alright, let me let them know that they're good to go.
Alright. Let's get it popping.
Looking at it right now, I can definitely see...
You can intimidate. There's a lot of reliance on physical attack coming off of Vazi's team, so that Incineroar is going to be something that Vazi's going to want to deal with probably as soon as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the addition of the Dusclops, do you think that he's going to be able to kind of get some momentum with Trick Room if he happens to get it off?
It's possible. There's gonna be a bit of a double-edged sword there as well, though, because of the Magnezone. Magnezone being a very slow mon as well. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens if that Trick Room does pop. And here we go. We have Dusclops and the Celesteela leading from Vazi with Rayquaza and Annihilate. So Noob is just popping in immediately, full power, it seems.
Yep, absolutely. Could immediately go for a Mega and shut down any potential weather stuff there, or anything that he could have that would be good against the Rayquaza's flying type. Not really anything with this with the Celesteela and the Dusclops, however.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm expecting to see a Will-O-Wisp come out from this Dusclops round one here to try and nerf this Rayquaza's damage capability and just try to control the battlefield a little bit from Vazi.
That's true. He could also go into the Annihilate as well, but Noob very well could instead decide, you know, hey, I'm kind of expecting that, and go for a switch with the Incineroar. He does kind of have to read of where it's going to be going, though.
Yeah, very true. Important to note, Dusclops doesn't have any damaging moves on this set except for Nightshade. Okay, let's see what we've got.
We go for a Protect on the Rayquaza, expecting the... like what you said, the Will-O-Wisp into it. Goes for a Trick Room instead. Protect on the Celesteela. And then a Shadow Claw from the Annihilate, taking Dusclops down to 59%. Pretty good start on both sides. Got a little bit more down on Vazi, but with Trick Room set up, he could definitely gain some extra momentum on this, with Rayquaza and Annihilate probably being in the slowest tier in this this group of four.
Oh, absolutely. The Rayquaza is definitely going to go last here. And there's
swapping
the swap
out
into
for the
Magnezone,
Magnezone,
like
and the swap into the Incineroar. Immediately
There's
gets the Intimidate off. Will-O-Wisp on the Magnezone instead, and a Flamethrower on the Incineroar, but that's going to be resisted due to the Fire typing.
Yeah, so this is the precise thing that I was kind of worried about looking at Vazi here with this Magnezone Incineroar into a Trick Room set. Incineroar, of course, having the type advantage over Dusclops, and then Magnezone being very fast in Trick Room.
Gets the haze off, and then the double into Celesteela, who protected, and not getting any momentum there, and getting rid of the Intimidate completely.
Yeah, very, very good predict there to use Protect and get out in front of that double into it.
Yeah, it just makes you wonder, though, if it was really worth it to go for a haze there to get those stats down. Flare Blitz into the Celesteela, as well as a burn, is going to take him down to 26%. Flamethrower into the Magnezone almost takes him out, and the Thunderbolt is going to do it for the Celesteela.
Celesteela goes down, Magnezone alive just barely here. Hariyama coming out from Vazi, of course, having a good matchup into Magnezone.
Yeah, could go for a switch here easily. Could also instead go for a Flying Terra and try and get some ground on that Hariyama, but would he really risk Terraing a Pokemon that's already down to 20%?
I think there's a chance here that Magnezone goes for a Volt Switch, thinking it'll outspeed in the Trick Room, and just swap out to come back in later.
That is a good call, yeah. It very well could outspeed, but I don't know what its EV spread is going to be. If it was to go for a Volt Switch, who is he switching out for? Okay, swaps out the Annihilate, goes for a Fake Out on the Annihilate, but doesn't connect due to the Ghost typing. Nightshade takes out the Magnezone.
Magnezone goes down. We see Mega Ray come back out.
And Flame Orb activated on the Hariyama as well. Being that it's a Guts Hariyama, that's going to boost it quite a bit.
Absolutely. This Hariyama is packing Smackdown, which is something to take note of here.
Yep, absolutely. One thing to note, though, is that going to connect with the fact that Rayquaza has Delta Stream up.
That's a very good question. Oh, it looks like we're going to find out what the next move is here.
Dragon Ascent double into the Dusclops to take him out and not get Trick Room back up. Whirlwinds the Annihilate and brings out Whimsy.
Very interesting. No more Trick Room threat with that Dusclops being gone.
Yep, we are now to more of an even match here. I guess a little bit more weight on Noob's side, because with Celesteela being down on him losing his Trick Room, we really have to see like what else kind of he had planned that maybe we didn't see. Maybe he had a backup plan to if Trick Room failed.
True. Looking on Noob's side, probably going to see a Tailwind come out from this Whimsicott. We could see a swap from Ray into something else, especially since this Miss Magius is rocking Dazzling Gleam with Terra Fairy typing.
That is true. I think that personally we're going to see a Fairy Terra from the Miss Magus. Protect on the Rayquaza instead. Moonblast onto the Hariyama. And a Dazzling Gleam like you expected, but doesn't connect due to Protect. Smackdown, same thing. Doubles into it, basically. Only gets a little bit of damage on that Whimsicott. But quite a bit of a chunk taken out of that Hariyama.
Yeah, huge damage coming out of Whimsicott there. Hariyama definitely in kill threat here, looking into this round. So,
yeah, Oh, go ahead.
Just trying to look at the team here. We may see the Hariyama sack, and if we do, we'll probably see Toxicroak or Lucario come out. Well, I guess we'll definitely have to.
Yep, we see a Gastrodon come out along with the Toxicroak. Yeah, Protect on the Whimsicott. I think expecting a potential Mystical Fire, but instead protects it instead. Barely gets any damage off on the Gastro.
Yeah, Gastrodon.
Go ahead.
Gastrodon coming out here, packing Yawn and Protect. Could be looking to get something to sleep here and force Vazi to go further onto the back foot.
Yeah, the other thing is here, though, this Gastrodon's not really afraid of anything. It doesn't really have the most damage output, of course, being a Gastrodon. However, there's not really any water moves being put out this round, and there's not really anything that it could be afraid of. There's no ice moves, nothing like that. Being a ground type, it's not even gonna be touched by the Thunderbolt. So this thing is kind of just out here just to deal some damage. Whimsicott, of course, at risk of being mystical fired, perhaps by this Miss Magus. However, I could see a switch coming from the Whimsicott maybe to the Incineroar. Instead, we get a Tailwind from the Whimsicott, Mystical Fire taking it out as we expected, and a Poison Jab on the Gastrodon. Not really doing too much. Miss the Earth Power. That's going to be devastating.
Very, very unlucky miss on the Earth Power here. Now that Toxicroak has been exposed to that as a potential threat, it's going to be interesting to see. Maybe we get Terra Dark here to get rid of the weakness to that Earth Power.
Yep,
out comes Mega Ray.
Out comes Mega Ray with Delta Stream back up. One thing to note, guys, this is an open teams format, so everyone who is competing today was provided the same material as everyone else, where they have the full list of everyone's moves and abilities and held items and everything. So they are able to make educated decisions on how they go about things. The other thing to note as well is that all of these teams were built in-game in Cobblemon Vulkan. Gonna Fairy Terra the Miss Magus. Immediately goes for a Dragon Ascent on the Toxicroak, taking him down, and almost gets destroyed by the Miss Magus, but held on just by a thread.
Yeah, Earth Power, of course, not going to do anything to Miss Magius due to the Levitate. Rayquaza here, definitely in threat range to be killed off. Going to be curious to see if there's any adjustments made, if we get a swap. Mega Lucario comes out.
Mega Lucario. Meteor Mash into the Gastrodon. Protect on the Rayquaza, expecting another Dazzling Gleam. Goes for it, takes out the Gastrodon. Looking definitely like it's evenly matched here. Annihilate comes out as well. I could have very well thrown out the Incineroar to get the Intimidate off instead to be able to shut down that Lucario a bit, but that Lucario's pretty fucking scary out on the field.
Yeah, 1.5 attack on... okay, there goes the Incineroar, just like you had mentioned a second ago. E-Speed coming out.
As well as the Citrus Berry, going to heal him back up just a little bit. Final Gambit against the Lucario, taking him down completely.
Yeah, huge kamikaze there.
Yep. Looking a lot less even here, however, things could very well still go into either one's favor. Incineroar being super slow, Hariyama being super slow. Rayquaza is going to be the fastest here. Best bet is Rayquaza goes into the Miss Magus, taking it out. But we could also, this Hariyama just came out, we could see a fake out come from him into the Rayquaza, shutting him down.
Absolutely, probably going to see fake out onto Rayquaza, actually, was my prediction here. And then that'll leave Incineroar 1v2, assuming it survives this round.
Yep, a Ghost type on the Incineroar, goes for a Protect on the Rayquaza, fake out on the Hariyama instead. And Dazzling Gleam barely resists the Dazzling Gleam with 5% left over, and a Burn takes out the Hariyama.
Super clutch with that fake out Dragon Ascent, and that's going to be game one.
Yeah, that is game one. Wow.
Very, very close. Very exciting.
Absolutely, yeah. That was more exciting than I thought it was going to be.
All right, I'm loaded into game two. Curious to see what adjustments we're going to get going into this.
You're loaded in. Do they send... Oh, there it is. Next game, too.
There you go.
Thank you. Wow, amazing first start from both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. I wonder if we're going to see a bit more caution out of Nucleus' side here. We kind of opened really hot and immediately had to make adjustments as a result last round. I wonder if we're going to see a bit more measured approach.
Yeah, now that round one is done, we very well could see both sides kind of levy things a little bit differently, different leads completely. The Nucleus might not be so hot and heavy with throwing Delta Ray out immediately, especially with fear that Miss Magus. We get a Dusclops with Celesteela, again, same lead as before, along with the Incineroar and Annihilate. So again, doesn't lead with the Rayquaza, but instead goes for the Annihilate instead.
Yeah, I look for a very quick double into this Dusclops to get it out of here, so that we don't have to worry about Will-O-Wisp Haze Trick Room shenanigans.
Absolutely. I think the exact same thing. Just try and get him completely out of there. Don't even worry about it. Oh, don't forget to update the ladder, by the way, whenever you get a chance. In case you haven't already. Goes for a fake out into the knockoff into the Dusclops. The Celesteela goes ahead and protected, but the Dusclops getting that Will-O-Wisp off on the Gastro is not really going to shut him down too much, especially considering it's a special attacker, but it just tries to go for that little bit of chip damage where it can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright, Elite Seed onto the Incineroar. That's going to be big, but a knockoff takes that Dusclops out before it can even get the Trick Room up. And a Yawn onto the Celesteela, kind of shutting it down a little bit. And Miss May just joining us out on the field as before. It could very well go Fairy Terra immediately, try and deal some good damage to this Incineroar.
Yeah, there's... Sorry, I just went ahead and got the bracket updated there. Thanks for that reminder.
All good, all good.
Dazzling Gleam comes out, not a lot of damage.
Yeah, not as much as I was expecting. Immediate knockoff on that Miss May, just taking it out. Goes for a substitute on the Celesteela, however, it's going to sleep here. It is possible that he just expects it to be a sort of wall that's going to be just taking chip for chip on whatever's on that right side. And yeah, Lucario joining us out on the field.
I look for us to see some doubles into this Lucario while the Celesteela is effectively out of play, asleep and behind a substitute.
Yeah, it's kind of just stuck on the field being doubled into, because I feel like he very well could try and take this the Celesteela out while it's asleep and try and just not worry about Lucario.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Lucario might be too big of a threat to try and ignore right now, and Celesteela's substitute's still going to be pretty thick.
Yep, takes out the Incineroar for the Annihilate instead. It goes for close combat on the Gastro, almost taking it down, but not quite. And another Yawn, this time on the Lucario instead. We don't have Sleep Claws here, guys, so it is fair game.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably going to look like a swap from Vazi's side here. Otherwise, two sleeping Pokemon on board at the same time is not a recipe for success.
No, absolutely not. Could very well swap into, with there being an Annihilate and stuff, the Miss Magus is already gone. Goes for the Toxicroak and immediately pulls out the Whimsicott as well. Kind of a bad matchup there. Close combat into the Toxicroak, not going to do a whole lot. And the Celesteela wakes up and goes for a Flamethrower onto the Annihilate, dealing some pretty good damage, getting him down to 73. This Whimsicott feeling a little bit more threatened considering it's going against a Poison type and a Pokemon rocking Flamethrower.
Yeah, absolutely. Just checking on the team here for Vaz. Yeah, and we're rocking Poison Touch on Toxicroak, so nothing to worry about from like a dry skin perspective either.
Yep. And to answer chat's question, no, we do not have Sleep Claws. It is fair game. So we very much run like a VGC sort of rule set. Moonblast going to blast Toxicroak the fuck out of there. This Whimsicott tanks this Flamethrower, barely down to 1% with a Focus Sash. And a good critical hit takes out that Toxicroak.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge output.
A surprising output from Whimsicott.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lucario going to join us out on the field. Once again, feeling pretty threatened considering this Whimsicott is kind of a beast.
Yeah, Whimsicott most likely going to outspeed here, but Lucario is rocking extreme speed, might be a factor. It was not. We got a close combat.
We got a close
instead
combat
out
into
on
Incineroar and took him out. Flamethrower going to take Whimsicott out as well, taking him down. And of course, Lucario went ahead and Mega to get that extra bit of damage as well. 2 Pokemon down on Noob's side, but 3 down on Fozzie's.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably going to see Mega Ray hit the field now with Annihilate. Probably some coaching onto the Mega Ray.
Yeah, try and set up a little bit just to be able to sweep the rest of Fozzie's team. Rayquaza and Annihilate going to join us on the field exactly like you said. We could see coaching here, or we could see a bit of a mix-up.
Yeah, Rayquaza very well may go for Dragon Ascent, try and slam into this Lucario. Lucario with an extreme speed. There's a coaching.
We do get the coaching, yeah. We do get the Dragon Ascent. Takes out the Lucario completely. Flamethrower onto that Annihilate, not going to do a whole lot.
Wow, huge round from Noob here.
Absolutely. Noob locked the fuck in for the second round. He said, I got your number, and he's running with it.
Wonder if we're going to see Annihilate being Choice Scarf. I wonder if we're just going to keep seeing coaching pop out, or if we're going to see a swap.
Protect on the Ray, protect on the Celesteela, a Whirlwind on the Annihilate.
Oh no, Whirlwind onto the Gastrodon that was swapped in, pulling the Annihilate back out.
I completely missed that. I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, now we have Annihilate back in with new choice options. Hey, there's another coaching.
Goes for another coaching. Was that a read on Nublius' part, or was that just a... was that just luck there that happened?
Man, it's hard to say. I really couldn't tell you. It may have been a swap into Gastrodon, maybe looking for like some Yawn Strats or some Ice Beam. But either way, really worked out in Noob's favor.
Yeah, protect on the Rayquaza, gonna protect against that Leech Seed, and throws out a Magnezone to be able to do some good damage against this this Celesteela.
Yeah, worth noting, Protect probably going to come back out from the Celesteela here to save itself from being doubled into. Protect that substitute being on board a little bit longer. If Noob gets the read on that, we could see Swords Dance from Rayquaza.
We do see a Swords Dance on Rayquaza. We see a Thunderbolt without the Protect. Flamethrower on a Magnezone, going to take him down to about 70%, but not a whole lot. The Celesteela not really able to deal too much damage at this point. It's looking like a wash on Vazzi's part.
Yeah, if Magnezone, if another Thunderbolt can break the substitute, and then we get a Dragon Ascent into that, it very well could be the end of Celesteela if we don't get a Protect.
Yep,
another Swords Dance.
Yep, he's looking to break that sub and then immediately start just pounding into this poor Celesteela.
Yeah, Noob fully stacked attack on this Rayquaza, and I think we're probably going to be putting a bow on this one.
Yep, Dragon Ascent into the Celesteela, going to completely take him out.
All right, and GG to both competitors. Let me go ahead and update that bracket for us.
Yep,
what an exciting opening to the tournament here.
Absolutely, yeah, some great plays there. Good game, everybody. You know, I think that both of y'all did really well. Nublius, congrats on moving up. Vazzi, will see you next time. This is single elimination, guys, by the way, so best 2 of 3 singles. As soon as a match is done, there's no losers bracket. It just gets completely wiped out. We decided to mostly do that just because of... obviously with there being a lot more people, it just made a lot more sense to do that. But yeah, Nublius is going to go ahead and take it up. His next round will be against Shigu. But that being said, next round that we're going to be seeing is between Atreen and Dream. Let me go ahead and make sure that both of them are ready to go.
Yeah, I just pinged that out in our community chat in our Discord server.
Awesome. That being said, guys, if you guys haven't joined the Discord, haven't joined Cobblemon Vulkan yet, feel free to do so. You know, we're up and coming Cobblemon server that has a lot of custom content, a lot of really cool stuff that we do, and we're probably looking to do some more tournaments here soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And with our new team of league reps, we are looking at putting together some interesting changes going into next year's competitive seasons.
Yep, we will be switching it up for this for 2026 Q1 competitive season. Let's go ahead and take a look at Reen and Dream's teams real quick. Let me go ahead and get those up on the board. Nope, not that one. Here we go.
Yeah, I've got them pulled up on my end as well.
Perfect. So yeah, looks like we on at Reen's team. Bit of a comeback from the Alolan Ninetales that we saw on what was it, Viri's team on one of our previous monthly melees.
No, it was Nubliust's team back in September.
Yes. He swept with that thing.
Yeah, that Ninetales, I dubbed it Clutch Tails at the time because it was insane at coming in the clutch when necessary. I wonder if we're going to see a repeat of that as it plays out here on Atlas.
We very well could, but in a format that kind of has a lot of Rayquaza with Delta Stream, it's going to be really hard to be able to kind of benefit off of Snow Warning and stuff. However, he might have a bit of success with it here, considering Dream did not decide to run with Mega Ray. He decided to run instead of Ho-Oh, Bird I Hate.
Yeah, what an interesting nickname.
Of course, we also see some other really strong threats here on Dream's team. Fluttermane, of course, Ogerpon as well, which we had during our Fireworks Festival event. Shout out to that. And some pretty strong threats as well. Metagross going with a Metagrossite. We could see a lot of just power coming straight from Dale's team. Reen's got some stuff going on as well. Obviously running Hisuian Zoroark. Very, very much a Hisuian sort of team with Alolan or with Hisuian Zoroark, Hisuian Typhlosion, and very much trying to go for like sort of an ice sort of gimmick here, but with some good protection with Obstagoon.
Yeah, worth noting, not going to come into play here against Dream, but if Atreen makes it through Dream and goes into the next round, there's a lot of coverage for dealing with a Mega Ray on this team. You have multiple Ice users. You've got a Dragon type in there. You've got there's so much just potential to make Mega Ray not even really a problem, assuming they can get their offense off.
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing as well to note is, with this Hisuian Zoroark, kind of a lapse in judgment here with it having an air balloon. It'll let the player know whenever that thing's out, so if Dream's looking out for it, he's going to know exactly what the Zoroark is. But he also could use that to his advantage, having him know what's out, he could very well go for a bit of a switch, bit of a different move.
Yeah, absolutely. Hisuian Zoroark, pretty quick too, could just play off of that and use U-turn strats. Switch into other things while still getting off some damage.
Yep. So it seems to be having some trouble in game. Let me take a look at what's going on here. Let's see. Bit of a technical difficulty here. Arctozolt is only available from an event, and it needs 3 perfect IVs. I'm wondering what they're meaning by that.
It's probably a Pokemon Showdown error, not allowing them to accept the match with that in their party. Not something we would have seen coming.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a hiccup there. Of course, we have a certain way that we do things with Showdown that allows us to kind of run these matches easily, but sometimes there is a little bit of a hiccup there with some of the Pokemon choices and other such. We could move on while they try and figure this out and see if they can get a good game going, or they can try and do like what Atreen suggested with doing anything goes level 50.
Yeah, it looks like Dream's trying to get something going at the moment. Maybe we see if they can get it going really quick with that, and then if that doesn't work, maybe we bump forward real quick and then come back to this.
Yeah, of course.
Also, There is the option to simply potentially to just run this on the server, assuming they did have to both make their teams
Yeah, absolutely.
on server. So
Yeah. The only thing with that is, of course, we would then have to go into crash clause, which is if something ends up happening in game that causes either one of the participants to crash, we would have to go to whoever did the best at that point based on like total mons available or HP values. And that's just always unfortunate to have to do if we do that. However, hopefully,
yeah, it looks like they're gonna. Atreen seems to be down for running it on the server. Just need to heal back here. Sorry, just need to hear back from Dream. Dream says he's good with it as well.
Yep, if both participants are good with it, then we can definitely do it in game.
Let me go ahead and boot that up.
Let me make sure that they know of the rules for that, as per if the battle crashes, of what happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're hoping that eventually Cobblemon becomes a little bit more stable with the way that things go. Just making sure that things don't crash in the middle of them battling.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that the problem seems to be so persistent with double battle.
Yep. But we'll go ahead and keep an eye on that. If you can, go ahead and keep track of just how everyone's doing, based off of how much HP values everyone has, and going from there.
Yep. Will do. CurseForge is being CurseForge for me at the moment, so.
Yep. And let me go ahead and get back into game really quick, since we're going to be running it in game. Once again, guys, if anybody's tuning in and has not downloaded Cobblemon Vulkan yet, what are you waiting for? Go play. We run events every month. We are about to be doing a reset the player builds over and getting ready for that. But you'll have a fresh new world to explore.
Yeah, lots of events, lots of custom textures. We do either a custom form or a server-specific custom Fakemon every month, depending on what month it is. Usually coinciding with whatever the event is for the month, too. So.
Yep, this month is, of course, the Christmas event, but we'll be seeing the next month with a bit of a winter festival coming to town. We'll be doing that, of course, after the reset. So we're going to be shutting down for about a week in January, but after that, we will be good to go.
Yeah, and something I feel is worth pointing out for players or potential players who may be interested. If you're looking for an intricate questing system and a story that you can explore within your Cobblemon or your Minecraft journey, then we have several pages of quests and a story that is actively developing as we go here as well.
Yep, and we have thousands of dex quests, thousands of different quests that you can sink your teeth into. And it looks like both competitors are now ready to go.
Yep, I am loading into the moment as we speak. If you want to go ahead and give them the okay to start, I should be able to battle spectate very soon.
Yep, give me just 1 sec. I'll go ahead and get this ready to go. I think both of them just got the challenge from one another.
Wonderful. I'm staring at the joining server screen, so.
Okay. Shout out to me for building this the stadium. But we have a fantastic build team here on Cobblemon Vulkan. Going into it now, we are starting off with a lead of the Typhlosion and the Arctozolt, along with the Ogerpon and the Fluttermane on Dale's side. Let me go ahead and get the teams up on the side real quick. Yeah, starts off with the Arctozolt. Immediately goes for the Follow Me. Gets a substitute off with the Arctozolt, protecting it a good bit, and then of course restoring a little bit of the damage that it lost. Ogerpon already down to 48%. That was from the Shadow Ball coming out from the Typhlosion. Immediately switches out and brings in the Farigiraf. And gets a super effective move off on the substitute, taking it down.
That is huge. There we go. My HP values are updating for the battle now, so I can see that Ogerpon is is now damaged. It was not displaying for me before.
Yep. Now down to 2%. Immediately swaps out for the Alolan Ninetales, getting Snow up immediately.
Very curious as to whether we see an Aurora Veil play here.
Instead, we see an Ivy Cudgel into the Arctozolt that swapped in, taking it out. I'm pretty sure that he was hoping to get some that Slush Rush off, but either it was a read or just a lucky guess into taking it down.
Yeah, Dream here, 2% on this Ogerpon, but definitely getting some value out of it as we go here. We got another Ivy Cudgel into the
Alolan Ninetales, taking it out. And seeing the Obstagoon join us out on the field. And getting a good bit of damage with that Dazzling Gleam from before. Typhlosion joining us once again. But we're starting to run out of Pokemon on Atreen's team already.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to be curious to see if we can get a comeback staged here.
We see an Electric Terra onto the Obstagoon. Follow Me onto the Ogerpon, who is down to 2%.
Ooh, big value there from the Typhlosion.
Yep, from the Eruption.
Manages to take out both of Dream's Pokemon who are out. Atreen making it clear that this is a fight, and Atreen is not going to be walked through here.
Yep, absolutely. Fluttermane going to join us out on the field, as well as the Flamigo.
Yeah, Flamigo hits the board here. This Fluttermane, I've been very vocal all season about how strong I think Fluttermane is, so we're going to potentially get to see some of that in action here. And down goes both.
Yep, we see a critical Dazzling Gleam out on both of them. Going to take them out completely.
Huge damage. Up two Noivern.
A double Noivern. But one is apparently floating with an air balloon. The question is, which one is it? Now, here's the thing as well, is that thing that I talked about before that assumes that they don't just send them out together. We found the Zoroark and we found the the Noivern. Doesn't really help whenever a Fluttermane's just able to wipe them both.
Yeah, big Dazzling Gleam value. Fluttermane continues to be a threat as this
absolute powerhouse.
Unfolds.
Yep, and that is going to take him out of round 1. Going into round 2. We'll see what they end up leading with instead.
Yeah, absolutely. As I mark this match in progress officially.
Yep.
A little slow on that. Making sure I got on the server so I could follow what was happening.
Shout out to our amazing community on the side. We're going to see the Ogerpon and the Flamigo go against the Arctozolt and the Alolan Ninetales.
Double Ice Mons coming out. Slush Rush potentially coming into play here. Obviously, Alola Ninetales. Both of these Pokemon being ice types, posing a threat to this Flamigo, as it is a flyer.
Yep, follow me on the Ogre Pond, immediately becoming the center of attention and using close combat on the Arctozolt.
Arctozolt goes down.
Yep, gets a critical hit, taking him out completely. Once again,
Aurora Veil
Green probably wanted to get some benefit off of having Slush Rush, but of course, Dream just shuts it down immediately. He's not dealing with any of that.
Out comes the Hisuian Typhlosion here. We did see some value out of this one last game with Eruption, so maybe it can make a little bit of impact here as well.
Yep, definitely. Gets another close combat out on the Alola Ninetales. Only takes him down to about 60%.
Yeah,
but Ivy Cudgel going to completely wipe Typhlosion off the map. Once again, Dream seeing what happened in round 1, not dealing with it, taking it out.
Yep, down goes the Flamigo, but also down goes the Typhlosion. Now we have Obstagoon and then the troublesome monster that is Fluttermane.
That is Fluttermane, yep. It is to note that this the Ogre Pond is the rock version. Immediately going to get the Dazzling Gleam off, and Ivy Cudgel out on the Alola Ninetales, taking it out completely.
Yeah, and then Obstagoon hanging on with 8%.
And then getting what move was that knocked it out? Was that a knockoff onto the Fluttermane, taking it out completely?
Absolutely. Fluttermane no longer going to be a problem this game. Maybe with Fluttermane gone, we can see a bit of a comeback from Atreen here, as Noivern and also Ho-Oh come out and join on the board.
Yep, we see the Ho-Oh finally make a spectacular entrance onto the field.
Yeah, Bird I Hate coming in from Dream here.
Yep. Once again, coming down to what I said before about that air balloon. Really unfortunate to put it on a Pokemon that you're hoping to hide. You know, he could have got a little bit of a benefit out of it here. Thinking possibly, hey, maybe it's protected against, or it's bad against rock, but goes for the Electric Terra on the Obstagoon and immediately uses the move Die.
Yes, Ivy Cudgel takes out Obstagoon, and hey, we see the Zoroark.
Hey, we finally see the Zoroark, yeah. Goes ahead and throws out the actual Noivern now. I believe that this is Atreen's last 2 Pokemon already.
I think so. I think we're down to the last 2.
Goes for a Boom Burst, gets a little bit of damage off, but not enough to really do too much. Takes out the Noivern, and goes for a Sacred Fire on the Hisuian Zoroark, taking it out completely and ending the game. That is a 2-0 on Dream's side.
And Dream moving into the next round.
Yep, that is going to... Let's go ahead and take a look at the ladder here. Somebody's doing the horning game. Yeah, taking a look at the ladder, it looks like next up is going to be Cosmic and Drag.
If you can go ahead and, let's see, I'll give them a ping here if you're not already on.
Oh, no, if you can get it, I'm getting stream stuff going real quick. While you're taking a look at that, let's go ahead and take a look at their teams and see who's going to be doing what.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cosmic and Drag, here we go.
All right, they have both been tagged.
Perfect. Let me know whenever that challenge code gets posted. But let's go ahead and take a look at their teams real quick. We got Drag versus Cosmic. Drag, of course, running a Rayquaza, as we've seen before. But also running some pretty interesting picks here as well with the Ninjask, Brute Bonnet, Goldango, and Blissey. As well as the Skeldurge. Could be a pretty fucking scary team.
Yeah, both of these teams have potential to be quite terrified. Quite terrifying. Reading chat at the same time as speaking. We have the Sinistra for insane support on Cosmic's team. Baxcalibur being almost a direct answer to Rayquaza. And then we also have an Alolan Ninetales again making an appearance here.
Yep. Raging Bolt also able to do some pretty good fucking damage that we've seen in common VGC teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's packing Draco Meteor, also giving another potential answer to Rayquaza. Lots of coverage for Rayquaza here. As long as any of these mons are standing, Rayquaza's in danger. Looking at the other side of the board, we have what looks like a Focus Sash Speed Boost Baton Pass Swords Dance set on a Ninjask, which is gonna make that thing a nightmare if it can actually get set up and a baton pass off.
Absolutely. One thing to note from Drag, he's in chat and said, "My team is as scary as I am scared." So he's anticipating some pretty good plays here.
That spectate code has been posted. I am currently staring at the opener.
Oh, did they already pick who's going out?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, yep. I'm in, ready to go.
All right.
All right. We're getting into round 1 of Drag versus Cosmic.
Very interested to see what leads we're going to get. Are we going to see the Ninjask lead immediately? Maybe Ninjask Brute Bonnet? And perhaps we could get some Sinistra Alolan Ninetales too.
Yep, absolutely. Unfortunately, I don't have a trainer card for Drag on stream, but thankfully his name is the exact same on here as it is in game, so that works perfectly. Oh, let me go ahead and let the... Oh, nope, never mind, they're going it. We see the Sinistra as well as the Pheromosa against the Brutbonic and the Ninjask.
Very, very interesting. Both leading some setup here.
Yep, both grass and bug.
Yeah. Pheromosa posing a bit of a threat, actually, to both this Ninjask and this Brute Bonnet with Ice Beam.
Yep, another thing to note is that the Brute Bonnet is running the item Booster Energy, which immediately activated its Photosynthesis, raising its special defense. So it'll hopefully be able to get a little bit of extra gain off of the Sinistra, but I don't think it's going to see much of that from the Pheromosa, considering.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be interesting to see what they do here as they open, both players taking a minute to consider their opening moves.
Sinistra could very easily, seeing that it came out round or turn 1 off a Cosmic's team, could go for anything. Sword Stance off the Ninjask, Rage Powder off the Brute Bonnet immediately goes down to a U-turn from the Pheromosa. Immediate critical hit off of Cosmic's team, just wiping the floor with that, sending him back to the prehistoric age.
Jesus, huge damage coming out from that Pheromosa.
Yep, immediately throws out the Baxcalibur, gets a Calm Mind out on the Sinistra. We're seeing setup on both sides. Speed Boost activates on the Ninjask, as well as that 2x attack from the Sword Stance. But is it going to be enough to really do a whole lot? Ninjask being just a Bug Dark? Or just Bug?
Bug Fly.
Bug Flying, okay. Goldango going to join us on the field as well. We're probably going to immediately see a Make It Rain here. Hopefully get some damage out on that Baxcalibur.
This Goldango, I know you don't have the trainer card.
I
this
do.
Goldango actually...
Yes. It's not running Make It Rain. It's running Dazzling Gleam, Psyshock, Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt. Wow.
Yeah. Could see a Dazzling Gleam, though, come out. Dazzling Gleam, very big problem for Baxcalibur.
Yep. Could very easily swap that into something else. But anything else that it swaps it into, of course, any move coming out from Goldango is going to hit like a fucking truck.
Absolutely.
We could also see a Shadow Ball go into this Sinistra instead, considering it's done some good setup already. Goes for Dazzling Gleam instead. Protect on the Ninjask because it's going to protect it from that Glaive Rush. But a Shadow Ball is going to wipe the Gholdengo out.
Gholdengo down. Ninjask, 2 times attack, 2 times speed. If it's going to baton pass, now's as good a time as any.
Absolutely, but what to baton pass into? Blissey going to go ahead and join us out on the field against a Baxcalibur is going to be a risky play. Could very well go for... It looks like it's probably going to be going for a Light Screen, possibly a Life Dew Heal Bell sort of game, but, you never know. As well as that, I'm pretty sure that Cosmic knows that Ninjask wants to swap right about now, and considering that it's probably going to be going into the Rayquaza, could very well go for another setup move like Calm Mind, could go for a Shadow Ball into the Rayquaza, Machigacha into either one of them.
Yeah, could just double into that Ninjask, and then if it swaps, whatever it swaps into is probably dead, and if it doesn't swap, then it's probably dead.
She could also decide to heal up the Baxcalibur, goes for a Machigacha on her own Pokemon, trying to get it up just a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Another Sword Stance
on the Ninjask. Very, very bold. Doubles into the Ninjask with Machigacha, taking it out. Even though it held on with a Focus Sash, that's not going to save it. All that set up for nothing, and a Body Slam on the Baxcalibur, not really going to do a whole lot of damage.
Yep, probably going to see, here comes the Rayquaza.
Yep, here comes the Rayquaza joining us out on the field. Probably what he was intending to switch out into with that baton pass, but little too little, too late.
Yeah, most likely that was the goal for the swap. Got a little too greedy with the setup. Although seeing as it would have been doubled into anyway, might not have mattered.
Yeah, definitely.
Rayquaza here, staring at a couple of threats. I'm very curious to see how this plays out.
Yeah, one thing to note is that there's not really a whole lot of negation on Drag's team. He doesn't really have any that he's completely immune to. Flying Terra on the Blissey, and then a Mega on the Rayquaza. Machigacha's going to take them down just a little bit, but not quite. And of course, with the Protect on the Baxcalibur, going to keep him in just a little bit longer. Especially against that Ironhead.
Yeah, curious to see what happens here with this Baxcalibur. It's definitely outsped by the Rayquaza, so not too sure. We could potentially see some Rage Powder play. Could see the Baxcalibur swap out maybe into something like a Sacrifice swap into Blaziken maybe.
Yeah, another thing to note as well is that with that light screen up, Cosmic's probably going to be wanting to get that Sinistra out of there, especially to also be able to maybe get some momentum off of the Hospitality, but instead keeps it in. Earthquake coming out from Rayquaza is going to take out that Baxcalibur, and a Life Dew from the Blissey going to heal that Rayquaza up the little bit of health that it had lost. So Drag's team seeming pretty good. Out comes the Alolan Ninetales. And shutting down Snow Warning completely with the
Delta Stream.
With the Delta Stream, yeah.
Yep. Ninetales being a special attacker here is going to be impeded by this light screen, so very curious to see what goes down this turn for sure.
Yeah, another thing to note, even though Drag is kind of on the back foot here with only 3 Pokemon left versus Cosmic's 5. Mega Rayquaza out on the field, that's a scary Pokemon. So this could still very well go anyway.
Yeah, there's a reason Mega Rayquaza is in the tier it's in our in our competitive system. So
Ironhead going to completely wipe out the Alolan Ninetales. Actually, not really, because of Focus Sash. Freeze Dry onto the Rayquaza going to deal a good bit of damage, and a Machigacha going to take him down just a little bit more. However, with this Blissey still out on the field, goes for a Body Slam on the Alolan Ninetales, taking it out.
Down goes Alolan Ninetales. Rayquaza sitting at 56% HP. Probably looking at a Life Dew coming in from Blissey. Out comes Raging Bolt.
Yeah, Raging Bolt going to go ahead and join us on the field. I don't remember what Raging Bolt's speed stat is. If it's going to... Oh, looks like it's going to... Let's see, we can see an Earthquake coming out from the Rayquaza. Going to deal a good bit of damage against the Raging Bolt, but not quite. Draco Meteor going to take Rayquaza out, finally. Goes for a Life Dew, probably intended for the Rayquaza, as it already had max HP.
Yeah, for sure. Now this Raging Bolt needs to get out of here or be sacrificed with that halved special attack. Is definitely going to be a problem if it stays on board. Also, this Sinistcha in danger with Skeledirge being a fire type.
Yep, and a ghost type, don't forget. Another thing to keep in mind, however, is that, he needs to get both of these Pokemon out of there anyways, because the Blissey, having such a high special defense, he's really going to want to, or she's really going to want to swap for the Pheromosa or the Blaziken right about now. Probably a really good idea to swap for both. Could potentially have some damage from the Pheromosa, being a bug type, of course, against Skeledirge.
It's going to be down to a read from Skeledirge as to whether the Pheromosa gets hit on swap or not. I think we definitely could see the swap for both of them. Out comes Blaziken.
Out comes Blaziken.
And
Terra Water on the Sinistcha.
Will-O-Wisp immune there on Blaziken because of being a fire type. And, I mean, a Blaziken, a huge threat for Blissey all around.
Yep, absolutely. Another thing to note as well is with this, with the Sinistcha going for Terra Water, this Blaziken's also rocking a Blazikenite, so she's about to have both gimmicks out on the field at once. I think that that's going to be way more than enough to deal with a Blissey and a Skeledirge.
Yeah, it's very possible we see game one end right here.
Yep, Mega Blaziken surprisingly does not kill with a Flare Blitz on a Blissey. That's shocking to me.
Yeah, I was expecting a low kick, super effective damage based on weight. Blissey is a fairly heavy Pokemon.
Yeah, of course. That being said, I was very well expecting that to completely wipe Blissey out. Maybe its defense isn't as bad as I thought it was. But that second one's going to take it down almost all the way. Almost kills the Blaziken in the crossfire of it.
There's the Shadow Ball. Game one goes down.
Yep, and looks like we're going to do game two immediately.
As always, very curious to see what sort of adjustments are made here. Ninjask didn't get to get its swap off this last time. Maybe this time we'll see an earlier switch. Not as many stats onto whatever it switches to, but the fact that it gets a switch regardless is going to be effective.
Yeah, of course. Another thing to note is that Cosmic is kind of expecting this Ninjask to go for something like that now, and probably expecting Drag to not, drag it on as long with trying to get that switch in on the Ninjask. Because that being said, it could very well just go for a Protect, get that speed boost off, and then immediately pass it to Rayquaza, who's going to run with it. So she could be expecting that and could very well try and prepare for it and get this Ninjask out of there immediately.
Yeah, definitely curious. There's a lot of threats to the Ninjask, just by nature of it having its typing.
Yep, absolutely. Both parties definitely taking a look at like what they can swap into. Let's see. Last time they led with, what was it, the Pheromosa and the Sinistcha, as well as the Ninjask and the Brute Bonnet. Brute Bonnet got destroyed immediately, so the Drag might be a little scared to throw that out again first turn.
Quite possible. However, Brute Bonnet packing Rage Powder is a way to guarantee one turn of setup on this Ninjask, so we might see the exact same lead with an immediate swap this time.
That is true, but remember, Rage Powder does not affect Grass types, so could very well go for the Sinistcha and try and get a Dazzling Gleam off of... is it running Dazzling? Yes. No, it's not. Try and get like a Shadow Ball off on the Ninjask to deal a little bit of damage there. And hopefully try and shut down its setup. Gonna go into round one here.
Exact same openers.
Openers from both sides. Wow, we're getting a run back. Photosynthesis
All right,
immediately activates. Could see a switch. Instead, we see a Rage Powder off the Brubonnet. We see the Swords Dance immediately. Rematch of round 1. Pheromosa takes out the Brubonnet and gets a Beast Boost off. Ninjask goes for a Swords Dance, and the goes for a U-turn to get out. Of course, it's not able to really get too much momentum off of that Beast Boost, unfortunately, with the fact that he used U-turn, but brings out the Baxcalibur, which is the exact same lead that they brought out last time. So we could see Drag switch it up instead. Brings out the Blissey instead.
Very interesting. Curious if we're going to see the Ninjask swap here. It stayed in a little too long last time, which was a big problem.
Yep, I very well could swap here because I'm feeling like Cosmic probably wants to double into it. The main problem with doing that, of course, and not running Substitute or something like that on this Ninjask to be able to mitigate some damage to whoever it passes to. Given that being said, whoever she decides to double into is going to be taking quite a substantial amount of damage for not really too much of a return. This double attack could be really good on Rayquaza, of course. Just turn it into a walking nuke. But I feel like they're also going to be expecting that, especially considering Rayquaza is not running Protect.
Yep, there's the Baton Pass.
Yep, Baton Pass into the Rayquaza. Immediately gets the airlock off. Glaive Rush going to take it out immediately. And of course, that Shadow Ball, considering it bounced right off that normal type Blissey, was intended for the Rayquaza.
Yeah, either intended for the Rayquaza or perhaps trying to read the Terra Flying on this Blissey, which is what happened last time.
That is true. Goldango going to go ahead and join us out on the field as well. Once again, kind of scared of that Shadow Ball coming out from that boosted Sinistcha.
Yep, and then Goldango rocking Dazzling Gleam could be a potential problem here for Baxcalibur, although I think we saw it Baxcalibur survive a Dazzling Gleam last time.
Well, here's the thing. It has Glaive Rush going on right now, which will likely make it take more damage, so I feel like Cosmic wants to go for a swap here, or perhaps go for a Protect on it to be able to protect from that extra damage that it could take.
Yep, that's what we saw last time, was Glaive Rush immediately followed by Protect, so very, very likely we see it again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, they say.
Yep. That being said, this immediately followed Protect and doubles into, looks like the Sinistcha, but that Shadow Ball, like I said, going to be a huge threat for Goldango and going to take him out. Goes for a Light Screen from the Blissey to be able to protect anything future coming out. Cosmic kind of running away with this match.
Yeah, she's built a very, very scary team here. Again, this team seems to have been built with the idea of fighting against Mega Ray in mind. Very interesting. We see the swap into Skeledirge here.
Yeah, could very well want to take out this Baxcalibur or the Sinistcha, but again, once, like I said before, Shadow Ball really being a big threat. Water Terra's onto the Sinistcha, Machigacha on both sides. Not going to do too much damage, but going to restore a little bit of HP.
Balloon is popped on the Skeledirge, though I don't think it's got a lot to worry about in terms of ground offense.
Yep, Blissey is almost down completely. Goes for another Glaive Rush from the Baxcalibur to get some good damage off, 62%.
Yeah, this Baxcalibur is now paralyzed here, so it might be time to swap this Baxcalibur out. Depends entirely on whether or not Cosmic is willing to take the coin flip here.
Yeah, here's the thing as well. Is this the Skeledirge and Blissey combo doesn't really have anything it can do against this Sinistcha. This thing really is kind of a monster versus Drag's team, considering the only thing that he really has against it is now shut down by Water Terra.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised we didn't see more Sinistcha in this tournament. I think Sinistcha is going to play a huge role here.
Oh, goes for doesn't bother going for Protect, goes for another Glaive Rush.
Wow, huge. Ninjask comes out on board. Ninjask is not packing any offensive moves. So I think we're going to see focus into this Skeledirge and then just wipe the Ninjask out whenever it's taken care of.
Yeah, absolute sitting duck here, considering it's only running Baton Pass, Swords Dance, Defog, and Protect. It kind of just a one-on-one between Skeledirge and these pretty much the entirety of Cosmic's team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Goes for a defog. Gets the Shadow Ball off on Skeledirge, gets the Hex off on Sinistra, and that Glade Rush is going to do it. Hyper-offensive play from Cosmic.
Yep, very, very aggressive here, but, it worked out. There's really nothing Ninjas can do here. I think it's time to put a bow on game 2.
We see a Swords Dance from Ninjask. Hope he's planning on using that. Shadow Ball onto the Ninjask, as well as the Glade Rush, going to completely take it out and end game 2. We haven't seen any games go to game 3 yet.
Yeah, very, very fast pace on this tournament this time around. Although, there's always potential for that to change as we get into these later rounds and we see higher and higher level play.
Yep, absolutely. That being said, Cosmic moving on, and our next game is going to be versus Lantern and Viri. Let's go ahead and, if you can go ahead and message them, let them know to be ready. I'm going to go ahead and get their teams up real quick. Yeah, here we go. So, Lantern, obviously big fan of Groudon, considering he built his base outside of a volcano and has it themed completely around Groudon himself. Running Groudon, Rillaboom, Incineroar, Driftblim. A little bit of a weird pick with Driftblim. Fluttermane and Raging Bolt. So some pretty good threats there. Viri running a pretty good team as well. Obviously Mega Rayquay, King Gambit, another Rillaboom, so we see kind of a mirror match here, along with a Sneasler, which has been an absolute fucking menace in competitive VGC, followed by an Iron Bundle and a Galarian Slowking. So pretty big powerhouses on both sides.
Yep, they've both been pinged in the Discord here, just waiting for a reply.
Okay, they got about 10 minutes to go, but we can go ahead and take a minute to kind of analyze these teams just a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, they said we ready.
Yep, so Lantern has responded, waiting for that link, and Viri just posted.
Perfect, Viri just posted it. Okay.
Okay, let's see. Oh, where did my window go? There we go. Okay, just looking at both teams here, man, we've got a Mega Ray team versus a Groudon team. Another Raging Bolt making an appearance, as well as a Fluttermane.
Yep, and again, the double Rilla, too.
Yep, Rillaboom mirror match. Lots of power on Lantern's team here.
Yep, very gonna go. Very gonna go for the Rayquaza Rillaboom start, as against the mirror match Rillaboom Fluttermane.
Yeah, double Rillaboom leads. Rayquaza definitely under threat from this Fluttermane. May see a swap here. Let's see. Just looking at the move set. Oh, here comes the Mega into a Protect.
Ooh.
Fake out.
Fake out goes onto the Rillaboom, shutting it down. Looks like they either speed tie or Lanterns just happens to outspeed his. And of course, an icy wind into the Rayquaza is not going to do anything because of the Protect.
Yep, but it does get a lower. It does lower the speed on Viri's Rillaboom, which could pose a very big problem since it already didn't go first in the first round.
Exactly, and if they were speed tying before, they certainly aren't anymore. If this Rillaboom swaps out now, could very well swap for the Iron Bundle, try and deal with that icy wind just a little bit, and try and deal with this opposing Rillaboom. Decides to swap out the Rayquaza for the King Gambit, goes for Grassy Glide into the Fluttermane, almost taking it out, but not quite. And a Moonblast into the King Gambit, going to do some good fucking damage, but not enough to take it all the way down.
Yeah, but we do see Defiant proc.
Yep, 2 times boost on the King Gambit. It's going to do some pretty good damage, but will it go quick enough?
It's packing Sucker Punch, so it does very well have the potential to get out there in front of it.
Doesn't run it this round. Decides to swap out the Rillaboom for the Groudon. And immediately boost that Photosynthesis. This Flutter Mane rocking a Focus Sash rather than the booster energy. Now getting boosted by that Groudon is going to be pretty fucking strong.
Yeah, packing a lot of damage. It is sitting on 17% HP, though, so if something does manage to hit it, it is out of here, because that thing is made of paper.
Yep.
Out comes Protect. Sucker Punch onto the Groudon.
Almost going to take it out, but not quite. But Precipice Blades is going to do it for both sides.
Huge damage from Lantern here. Out comes Sneasler and Ray.
Yep, something else to note, guys, is that we currently in-game, players do not have access to the red or blue orbs. So Groudon and Kyogre coming out, those are going to be base Kyogre and Groudon. You're not getting Primal.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we see a Sneasler come out here. Going to be interesting to see how that plays, given it does pack a Fairy weakness.
Yep, of course. This Flutter Mane is down quite a bit, though.
Flutter Mane switches out, brings out Drifblim.
Yep, and a Protect on the Groudon. Dire Claw going to do a little bit of damage to that Drifblim and get a Poison off. And a Dragon Ascent not going to do anything to Groudon as its leftovers heals it just a little bit.
Yeah, Rayquaza.
Oh no, not leftovers. Sorry, the grassy terrain.
Grassy terrain, Rayquaza staring down this Groudon here, 35% HP. The option to Protect, not looking as juicy here, but it wouldn't be the first time we saw double Protect in one of our tournaments.
So don't remind me. Yep. We saw it 3 or 4 times almost in a row on one of our turnings, so could very well go for it here. But that being said, it kind of leaves this Groudon as a sitting duck, even though Lantern has most of his Pokemon still left over. Mega Rayquaza is still a scary Pokemon, and as shown here, Dragon Ascent into the Drifblim going to take it down completely.
Yep, Protect coming out keeps the Sneasler alive. Out comes the Flutter Mane. Sneasler packing Dire Claw here could be very, very bad for Flutter Mane, as well as still having a nearly full health Rayquaza.
Yes. Flutter Mane could try and go for a Moonblast into this Rayquaza, but of course, with it could very well easily Protect and shut that down completely, or swap into something else. I could very well see a swap into potentially the Galarian Slowking to be able to get some momentum going on there, especially since this Rayquaza is down a bit on stats.
Yeah, for sure. Rayquaza swap definitely possible. Again, Sneasler posing the threat. Rayquaza is also packing extreme speed. We could see an E-speed onto this Groudon to try and get it out of here if Veery thinks it has the damage.
That is true, yeah. The only problem is that this Groudon could Protect this round. However, Heat Crash last round. Protect onto the Rayquaza takes the Moonblast. Dire Claw on the Flutter Mane going to remove that as a threat. Precipice Blade's not going to do anything to Rayquaza, and going to miss the Sneasler.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy agile Sneasler as it ducks and dodges around these Precipice Blades, getting ready for whatever comes next.
Yeah, probably gonna see.
I told you this damn Sneasler was a menace.
probably gonna see the Incineroar come out here for some Intimidate action.
Yep,
and there it is.
Exactly, there it is. Goes on the Intimidate for the Rayquaza and the Sneasler. Once again, this thing probably really wants to swap out into something else. But now it's looking a little bit more enticing with that Galarian Slowking being in the back with Psychic. Hopefully being able to do a little bit more damage against the Incineroar.
Yeah, potential double swap here from Rayquaza Sneasler just to get all these stat drops off.
Yep. Could swap out for the... Actually, it would have to swap out for the Galarian Slowking and the Iron Bundle, but very well could read it. Remind me, is Iron Bundle water ice, or is it just ice?
That is a great question. I know this one happens to be Terra Water. Give me just a moment.
Absolutely. Could very well swap into, or swap either side, but it's going to be up to Lantern to kind of read which one's swapping where, if he can get any sort of bonus on that.
It is water ice.
It is water ice, so it's not going to take too much damage from let's say like a flare blitz from the Incineroar or a heat crash from the Groudon. Personally, what I would do if I was Lantern, I would be expecting that swap and try and double into one side just to take something out.
Yep. Let's see. We have Protect available for Sneasler, so probably not going to see a same time swap. Probably going to see another Protect come out from Sneasler while Ray tries to swap to Safety. If Lantern can get the read on that, it could be devastating for Viri's team.
Viri could also just decide to go hyper offensive here as well, though. That's the main thing is, even though it has that minus attack, it is still a fucking Rayquaza rocking Draco Meteor, Extreme Speed, and Dragon Ascent. Goes for Protect on the Sneasler.
And there's a Draco Meteor.
Draco Meteor from the hyper offensive Rayquaza into the Groudon, but gets a knockoff from the Incineroar in turn, almost taking it out, but not quite. Booster
Rayquaza,
energy activating on Raging Bolt, immediately boosting its special attack.
Rayquaza on 3% HP here. Down one stage on defense, special defense, and attack, and down 2 stages on special attack.
This thing is desperately asking for a swap, and Viri is telling it, no, you're not done yet.
If a legless dragon could limp, this one would be limping.
That being said, very well could decide to sack the Rayquaza here and get some damage off of Raging Bolt. Even with minus special attack, again, it's still a fucking Rayquaza running Draco Meteor. So could get some good damage out on that Raging Bolt.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me if we see a swap, get the Sneasler out of there, sack the Ray, try and get a little bit of damage off before it goes off the board.
Just cue the image of, considering like the way that that Showdown is showing it, the fucking Sneasler riding this Rayquaza into battle.
Silver Surfer style too.
Oh my god, yeah.
Not even seated.
Dire claws in hand, ready to fucking go. Lantern very well could just try and take out... I don't know who would go faster in the speed tier. Obviously Rayquaza, but actually... No, it's not minus speed at all, so it's probably still going to go first. Decides to swap it instead, saving that 3%, and goes for the Slowking. Thunderclap going to come out, but it's going to fail.
Combat. My gosh.
Yeah, close combat into the Incineroar, going to take it out completely. And that lowers some of the stats on the Sneasler.
Raging Bolt went for Thunderclap. To no avail there.
Yep, Rillaboom going to draw us out on the field and get Grassy Terrain up once again. Could very well go for a Grassy Glide to deal some kind of damage here, but kind of on the back foot against a Poison type like Slowking and a Alolan Sneasler.
Fighting type. Yeah, now Fighting type on the Sneasler.
Oh, you're right, yeah. Did I say Alolan Sneasler?
You did, yeah. I wasn't going to point it out.
Hisuian Sneasler, yeah. Fuck the comments. Okay, but yeah, very well. Lantern's kind of on the back foot here. Still, Raging Bolt can do some pretty good damage. Fake out into the Protect isn't really going to do too much. Goes for a setup on the Raging Bolt. Sludge Bomb coming out from the Slowking, not going to do too much. Gets down to about 50%, but would still need to go for a another bit of damage there to get it down. From the Slowking, currently it's running Psychic, Sludge Bomb, Trick Room, and Chilly Reception. Could try and Chilly Reception into the into either the Raging Bolt or the Rillaboom. Get some damage off there.
Very possible. Now that Fake Out's out of the way, we might see Sneasler try and get a Dire Claw off onto the Rillaboom, take it out.
Grassy Glide going to deal some good damage to the Sneasler, but takes out the Rillaboom. Thunderbolt going to finally put this Sneasler out of its misery. And Chilly Receptions into the Iron Bundle.
And then out comes back into the Galarian Slowking. This poses a huge problem for Raging Bolt. Iron Bundle does have the water typing.
Ooh, Aurora Veil going to protect that Slowking pretty well. Immediately gets a Sludge Bomb off to deal about 20% there. Even as chip damage, with that Aurora Veil up, it's going to be pretty protected. Freeze Dry into Raging Bolt going to take him down just a little bit more. Thunderbolt's going to paralyze, but it's not going to be enough as Sludge Bomb comes out once again.
Yeah, 21% on this Raging Bolt here. It might be a bow on game one. There it is.
Yep, Freeze Dry gonna shut it down.
All right, and we're going to game two.
Yep, game two. We'll see if we have the same leads this time from either side. Definitely feel like either one wants to probably swap out a little bit. I feel like even though Lantern won, or no, not Lantern, Aviri won that round. Even though Aviri won, it was a little closer than I think that he even expected. So could go for different switch-ins here.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we wait here for this to get started.
Oh, looks like we're starting off.
Leading King Gambit. Interesting.
Another double Rilla.
Yeah, Rillaboom just too good as a lead. I didn't see that one stopping.
Leads the Fluttermane, which is going to be devastating against this King Gambit. And yeah, like you said, very interesting that they ran King Gambit first. Especially considering how much opposition it has. Is not running because it doesn't have an ability that allows it to gain a boost typically, but it's running Defiant instead. Or am I thinking it different?
Instead of Supreme Overlord.
Yep. Goes for Aggressive Glide onto the Fluttermane, almost taking it out, but not quite. Gonna tank this Moonblast, and gets a little bit more from that Citrus Berry. U-turn not really gonna touch this King Gambit. I really expected that perhaps Lantern expected Very to swap out the King Gambit, decided to try and double into or get some good damage off on the Rillaboom, but wasn't enough to take it out. Kowtow Cleave going to knock out the Flutter.
Yeah, Fluttermane out of there. Groudon on board now.
Yep, Groudon is on board. Brings out the Driftblim to hopefully get some headway with that. I think what he wants to probably go for on the Driftblim is perhaps either an Imprison if any of the moves happen to match, which I don't think that they do, or an Acrobatics. Or not Acrobatics, Tailwind. Tailwind or Trick Room.
Yeah, probably going to run Tailwind here, I would think. I don't think we're going to see a Trick Room at the moment.
Very well could to shut down Rayquaza. Goes for a Tailwind, like you said. Rayquaza still might be faster in some instances. Swords Dance on the King Gambit going to make it a really tough threat.
Absolutely, yeah. The problem with Trick Room here is it's going to make King Gambit first in the speed tier. With the flip speeds, and one thing you don't want is a King Gambit hitting you before you hit it.
That is true. That is absolutely true. Rayquaza going to join us on the field. Very well could go for a Mega here immediately with the Dragon Ascent. Just try and just nuke one of these opponents.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see the Dragon Ascent. I think King Gambit Terra Flying, it's going to be rendered immune to special or to super effective attacks.
Yeah, protect on both sides. Kind of feeling it out what he's going for. Heavy Slam and Acrobatics not going to do anything.
Very interesting. No Imprison, or sorry, not no Imprison. No Protect on this Driftblim, so you could very well see a double into that and get it off the board immediately.
Yep. Potentials of what he could swap it out for. I mean, there's not really anything that Lantern can safely switch into to protect against a Rayquaza and a King Gambit.
Yeah, potentially switching into the Incineroar just to get some Intimidate value. But anything that gets swapped into here, if it gets doubled into by either or by Viri's showing Pokemon, it's over.
Yep, Sucker Punch on the Groudon, Acrobatics coming out from the Driftblim, but not going to be enough to take out the King Gambit. Heavy Slam, once again, not going to deal as much. Draco Meteor Miss from Rayquaza on the Groudon, keeping it in just a little bit longer.
Very, very fortunate for Lantern's team here that Draco Meteor misses.
surprisingly agile Groudon and Drifblim, just fucking ducking, dodging, and weaving around these moves coming out from either team. Sucker Punch gonna do it in though. Heavy Slam onto the Rayquaza with a crit, taking it down to 2%, but not enough to take it down. Draco Meteor finally connecting and taking out the Groudon.
Rayquaza goes down.
Yep, Rayquaza does go down due to the Life Orb damage.
Yep. King Gambit hanging in there with 12% HP. I questioned it as a lead, but it seems to be working pretty well.
It's doing pretty fucking good.
Probably gonna see maybe Rillaboom and Incineroar pop out here. Could see one of those with Raging Bolt as well for trying to get some setup off on Raging Bolt.
So we see a Raging Bolt Rillaboom.
Photosynthesis, raising that special attack.
Yeah, Slowking's obviously going to be doing some pretty good damage against this Rillaboom, so it could swap out for the Incineroar like you said before, but it's also probably very scared of a Psychic coming out instead. Actually, no, it's not, because what am I talking about? It's fucking
no. It's Dark type.
Other way around.
Yeah.
Never mind. So perfect swap would be to swap for this. To swap
you don't
for the Incineroar.
Incineroar. Yeah, I don't think you want to keep this Rillaboom out there. I think getting grassy terrain up and then swapping out probably is going to be the best bet until the Slowking and this King Gambit are just off board.
Absolutely, yeah.
Lots of decision making happening.
Yep. Decides to Dark Terra the Rillaboom. Goes for a Grassy Glide, taking out the King Gambit, and a Thunderbolt into the Slowking. Chilly Reception gonna go ahead and let him swap out into the Sneasler. Sneasler being a fighting type is going to obviously threaten this Rillaboom now with close combat. And into this Iron Bundle as well. You know, could very well see it deal some pretty good damage to this Raging Bolt. So, Lantern's still on the back foot here, even with a Dark Terra.
Yep. Important to note, there's no Protect on Rillaboom, no Protect on Raging Bolt. So something, any damage heading down range is going to hit. Protect comes out for Iron Bundle.
From the Iron Bundle, yep. Dire Claw onto the Raging Bolt, gonna deal some pretty good damage, and then get that poison off. Draco Meteor gonna take out that Sneasler. Yep, goodbye.
Turns out meteors don't just wipe out dinosaurs.
They wipe off all prehistoric Pokemon. That being said, another thing to note as well, that I guess we didn't pick up on earlier, Lantern is not running any Mega Pokemon. I remember hearing from him that he was a bit confused about the format. He thought that you could only run either Terra or a Mega.
Oh, interesting. I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, so he did not run any Mega Pokemon. So he's kind of already on the back foot with that alone. But that being said, he is making pretty good use of the Terra. Goes for a Wood Hammer on the Rillaboom. Gonna lock hammers with it, but not take it out. Sludge Bomb going to almost take out the Raging Bolt, but not quite.
Yeah, Raging Bolt hanging in there. It is poisoned. We are staring at 8% HP left, so
yeah,
Raging Bolt is definitely in danger here.
Yeah, if it doesn't go out to the poison, it'll only be because of the grassy terrain that's going on right now. I don't know if that's greatly poisoned or if it's just normal poison, however. So that's going to be a big factor in this of whether that Raging Bolt sticks around. Either way, Veery probably doesn't care about targeting it, other than to probably try and get it out quicker. Decides to swap it, how interesting, for the Incineroar. Goes for a U-turn on the Rillaboom, taking it out completely. And then swapping back into the Raging Bolt. Sludge Bomb taken from the from the Raging Bolt, and then brings back out the Rillaboom. Wow.
That was
wow. That was some pretty good swapping, not gonna lie. Veery probably didn't care to attack the Raging Bolt there, like I said, but considering he swapped it into the spot where the Rillaboom was before, wow.
Yeah, and we are looking. I mean, Pokemon for Pokemon. This is in Lantern's favor. We might see our first Game 3 of the tourney.
We very well might, yeah. That being said, you know, so we have Iron Bundle there. Ice Water type is going to be pretty neutral against the Rillaboom here, who's rocking Wood Hammer and Grassy Glide. The Incineroar, once again, like I said, kind of doesn't really do too much to the Iron Bundle, considering it's also Water type.
Hydro Pump maybe could come out to try and take out this Incineroar. Instead we get a Protect.
Protect into the Grassy Glide. Knock off onto the Slowking, taking it out in one fell swoop. This Iron Bundle, this poor penguin, just stuck on this iceberg out in the middle with a raging cat and a monkey. Hydro Pump not going to do a whole lot versus against the Rillaboom as it takes it out.
Interesting decision to Hydro Pump the Rillaboom and not the Incineroar there.
I feel like at that point it might have just been okay, fuck it, I'm dead.
Very, very possible.
Going on to Game 3. The first Game 3 of the match, as you pointed out before. It'll be the first Game 3 of the tournament. Very well hoping to see either... Honestly, it's been a great match between these two. It's been pretty even all the way. I feel like this is one of the most even teams that matchups that we've seen so far.
Yeah, lots of strategy going into here, lots of thought happening behind every single move selection. So I wonder if we're going to get that King Gambit lead again. And if we do, I wonder if it's going to be as effective as it was last time.
Yeah. Biggest problem with Pokemon is like once you get something off, the other person's going to be expecting it again. But you could use that to your advantage and go for it again anyways, expecting that they expect it. It's all this 4D chess kind of play here. Both parties definitely thinking about what they should go for this time, though.
Yeah, we could just see some heavy control and open like Incineroar Rillaboom from Lantern here. Get some double fake out action with Intimidate proc. Be a little spicy.
Yeah, absolutely. In the same vein, could very well go for the Groudon with Flutter Mane immediately trying to boost Photosynthesis. Goes for the King Gambit Rayquaza, and then the Groudon Incineroar. So gets that Intimidate off, like you said.
Rayquaza nullifying that potential for Sun. King Gambit does come out immediately up 1.5, so up one stage on attack.
Yep, due to Defiant, gets that off of the Intimidate. I feel like this Incineroar probably really wants to shut this King Gambit down. It is running Fake Out, so it could try and shut this King Gambit out. But I feel like Veery might be expecting that and go for Protect instead.
Yeah, Precipice Blades on Groudon. Being a ground type move, huge threat to King Gambit. As a King Gambit enjoyer, we do not enjoy ground type moves.
Yep. Fire Terra from the... We're going to go for a double Protect. Fire Terra from the Groudon, and the Fake Out Heat Crash combo. Not going to connect either of them. Probably a really good play there from Veery deciding to go for the double Protect, but now he is completely unprotected on this round. So again, could decide to double into the King Gambit. Veery could swap into the Iron Bundle or something like that in order to protect it, but it's pretty risky. Regardless of what he decides to double into here, it's probably going to go down.
Yeah, we may see the Mega Ray go ahead and come out.
Yep. The point that I think that Lantern needs to take from this is that he does need to double into something to take it out.
Absolutely, but he's also got to worry about being doubled into himself. I mean, King Gambit rocking Sucker Punch, Rayquaza being faster than both Groudon and Incineroar.
That is true. Delta Shroom with the Mega Rayquaza and the Flying type on the King Gambit. Gonna go for a Draco Meteor on the Incineroar. Boosts its HP just a little bit with the Citrus. Gonna go for Heat Crash on the King Gambit. And then a Parting Shot from the Incineroar, interestingly enough. Bringing out the Rillaboom and getting Grassy Surge up. Swords Dance, unabided by the King Gambit. Boosting it even further.
Up 3 stages on attack there. That King Gambit is looking pretty monstrous here.
Yeah, something else that Lantern probably should have thought of is that by bringing that Incineroar out, or by pulling it back out, if you throw it out again, that King Gambit's only going to get stronger with defense.
Absolutely. Yeah, that Defiant is gonna just continue to boost the attack even more. Rayquaza, I think, just has to be swapped here. It's so heavily damaged on its stats. Might see a Protect first just to drag it out a little bit.
Yeah, of
but
course.
we're gonna
And
have
we've
to
also
Rayquaza.
seen him keep it in before and just fucking run with it. He
Very
does
true.
decide to
There's the
swap.
Protect on King Gambit.
Protects against the Grassy Glide, and the Heavy Slam comes out against the Rillaboom, taking it down to 40, but not before the Citrus Berry comes out. Monkey eats his berry and goes back up to 8, or goes back up to 70.
Monkey like his berry.
Monkey do like his berry.
King Gambit doesn't have Protect available this turn, so could very well see probably a Sucker Punch play coming, seeing as it definitely doesn't outspeed that Rillaboom. Oh, here we go, Fake Out, U-turn.
Fake out, U-turn. Oh. Oh, okay, swapping out into the Drifblim. Groudon flinch, Kowtow Cleave onto the Drifblim. Oh, goodbye, Balloon.
What a read.
Goodbye, Balloon.
Wow. All right. King Gambit, Rillaboom, both heavily damaged here, but we finally see bloodshed as this Drifblim goes out.
Yep, Flutterman going to go ahead and join us out on the field.
Absolutely. Probably going to see another Protect here from King Gambit. Likely to see Lantern just either double into this Rillaboom spot. Could also see a Protect come out. Potentially even both Protects come out.
Yep, once again, just feel it out like he did before. Goes for a Protect on a King Gambit. Gets a critical Grassy Glide on the Fluttermane. Barely hangs on by its Focus Sash. That Icy Wind's going to take out the Rillaboom, but nothing against the King Gambit as it gets doubled into.
Out comes the Sneasler. Sneasler already shown that it is a problem for Fluttermane. King Gambit, of course, being up 3 stages in attack is a problem for everything.
Let's be honest with ourselves. Sneasler is a problem for everything as it joins us out on the field. Gonna go ahead and bring that out and get ready. It looks like this Fluttermane probably isn't going to be around for too much longer. Notably, the Lantern has not Terra'd anything. Oh wait, no, he Terra'd the Groudon. Terra Fire.
Yep.
I always forget that it's not just naturally fire, unless it's primal.
Right. Yeah, King Gambit Terra'd into flying here. Groudon Terra'd into fire. We've got the Mega Ray out. All the gimmicks that we expected to see are in play currently.
Yep. Another thing to note is that Rayquaza is still in the back. 90%, still looking pretty fucking solid.
Yeah, and all those stat decreases no longer going to be a problem when he comes back out.
Yep. That being said, that Raging Bolt is still in the back pocket of Lantern, ready to go.
True, Veery taking some time to think here.
Yeah, could swap out here. Could try and save this King Gambit, but it has 2.5 attack. I'd say you run with the. Time to gamble. Let's see what he's going for. Protect on the Flutter. Sucker Punch on the Groudon. Takes down to 85. Doubles into the Groudon, taking it out completely. Goodbye, you Fire Lizard.
That is a gamble successful. Send this man to Vegas.
He was expecting the Protect, and he got it off that Fluttermane. A Lantern wanted to keep that Flutter around just a little bit longer, but protecting it sacked the Groudon.
Curious what we're going to get coming out here. Again, if Incineroar comes out, King Gambit gets stronger.
Yeah, that's true. So he's kind of barred from bringing out the Incineroar, but really, if he brings out the Rillaboom, that's going to be damaged against the Sneasler. Fluttermane's already out on the field. If he brings out the Raging Bolt, I feel like he very probably will want to go for a swap into the Rayquaza to be able to get that Draco Meteor out and just take it out. But at that point, that'll leave very open for a boost into its swap. But that being said, brings out the Rillaboom instead.
Out comes Rillaboom. 99% chance we see a fake out play here from the Rillaboom.
Yep, 99% chance we see a protect for the from Viri onto the King Gambit. I think he probably wants to protect it again.
Could honestly double protect here.
Yep, just to kind of feel it out. He did it turn 1 of this one as well, just to protect against any potential from the Incineroar or the Rilla.
Yep, absolutely. Also, I mean, Sneasler packing Dire Claw, and this Fluttermane having next to no HP left.
Yep, brings out the Rillaboom, gets the fake out on the Sneasler, taking it down just a little bit. And then protect on the King Gambit, yeah.
Raging Bolt hits the board. Now this is where it's going to get interesting because, I mean, Raging Bolt doesn't have access to protect, so we could see a +3 stage attack King Gambit Sucker Punch followed by like a Dire Claw or something, and Raging Bolt could just be out of there.
Is Raging... Oh, but then again, Raging Bolt could very well go for a Calm Mind instead, expecting the Sucker.
Very true, very true.
Lots of things can definitely happen here. Very good play by Lantern, but like bringing in the Raging Bolt. So he could expect the Rayquaza to come out here and try and go for something, but like you mentioned before, even if he does, that King Gambit holding on to that Sucker Punch is going to be pretty strong. Grass Glide not going to take King Gambit out, but Dire Claw is certainly going to do some damage against Raging Bolt. Goes for the Calm Mind, like I mentioned.
Yep, Viri did try to double into the Raging Bolt. Raging Bolt did go for the Calm Mind, which is in all likelihood what kept it around.
Exactly. Tried to go for the Sucker Punch and did not get it off. So exactly like we predicted. That being said, now Protect on the King Gambit goes for Grassy Glide, does not get it. Thunderclap into Sneasler. Say it with me now. Goodbye.
Yeah, good. Goodbye is correct. Out comes the Rayquaza, though, and Rayquaza coming in 90% HP, and I believe is faster than Raging Bolt.
Against this Raging Bolt, he could take it out and try and go for maybe bringing in this Flutter to, if Viri decides to go for Dragon Ascent into this Raging Bolt, or even just Draco Meteor, it could be soaked up by this Fluttermane, being that it's immune with Fairy. But,
both competitors taking their time to think here.
Yeah, it's going to be... There's quite a bit that both sides can go for here. Lantern can go for some pretty good switches here. Viri can go for some switch ups and decide, hey, I'm going to double into the Rillaboom instead. I honestly think that's what's about to happen, is that he's about to completely ignore this Raging Bolt. I think Lantern's going to expect that, go for possibly another Calm Mind, or just try and get some damage off on this Rayquaza. Fuck, there's so many things that can happen here. Rayquaza can go for Protect, expecting damage from Raging Bolt.
Yeah.
There's
Weirdly enough, if I'm Lantern here, I'm probably swapping this Rillaboom out for the Incineroar, because that's going to take Sucker Punch off the table for King Gambit. If King Gambit tries to Sucker Punch into it.
Incineroar comes out, boosts that King Gambit even more, but that Grassy Glide is going to shut it the fuck down.
Down he goes. Draco Meteor wiping out Incineroar.
Out the Incineroar, yeah. We're probably about to see either the Raging Bolt come out or the Fluttermane.
Galarian Slowking probably going to Chilling Reception and bring out this Iron Bundle.
Yeah, something to note is that apparently timer is on. Viri is on the timer here. Only 20 seconds left. I guess that they forgot to turn it off whenever they were starting off.
Yep, seems that way.
Well, it seems like Viri went ahead and picked. Lantern is still looking at his options. Goes for Protect on the Flutter, Protect on the Rayquaza. They're both staring each other down. Goes for a U-turn on the Rilla, and a Sludge Bomb on the Fluttermane, but it's protected.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Pretty good round there. Rayquaza can't protect this round, but it could very well just go full send into this Raging Bolt, and it doesn't have the the Flutter Mane to protect it this time, with being a immune swap. Moonblast into the Rayquaza, gonna take him the fuck out. Ooh. Calm Mind on the Raging Bolt.
Down goes Flutter Mane, but it may be too little too late as Iron Bundle and Rillaboom hit the field, and it is down to a 2v2.
It is down to a 2v2, but this Raging Bolt is boosted quite a bit, or is boosted by 1 Calm Mind, so it could be anyone's game here. All it needs is a Thunderclap or a Thunderbolt into this Iron Bundle. Iron Bundle's probably really eyeing that Protect. Yep, there it is. U-turn into the Slowking. Thunderbolt onto the Iron Bundle just in case it didn't Protect, and that Sludge Bomb is going to be super effective against the Rillaboom. Both sides featuring super effectives against one another. At this point, it's just a case of, like, who's going to Protect with what is going to be the main thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Iron Bundle not having a lot of
options it can go for, yeah. Could go for Freeze Dry. Is Raging Bolt a Dragon type as well?
Raging Bolt is in fact a Dragon type, so Freeze Dry is probably Iron Bundle's best play.
That's correct, yeah.
Galarian Slowking, I mean, I think personally that Viri's probably going to have to double into this Raging Bolt and get it out of here.
Yep, no Protect on this Rillaboom, by the way. It is rocking no Protect, so he could double into that and try and do some damage to it. But as soon as he does, like I said, there's going to be a Thunderbolt coming out onto that Iron Bundle.
Yep, absolutely. Oh, went for the double protect
on the Iron Bundle. Gets crit Grassy Glided, and then double Thunderbolted. Robo Penguin has seen better fucking days. The Galarian Slowking
down goes Rillaboom. It's a 1v1.
It is down to 1v1. Draco Meteor against the Slowking. Sludge Bomb against the Raging Bolt. It is back to back to back here. Neither one's slowing down. Draco Meteor once again going into Slowking. 1%!
Oh my god, 1% HP on this
Gets
Slowking.
Gets the poison on
Raging Bolt.
On the Raging Bolt. This is Slowking rocking. Does he have Protect? He doesn't have Protect. Goodbye!
It's good.
If he had Protect, he would have had a minuscule, but a chance. Imagine a double Protect into that poison. Crazy.
What a hype ending to that series. Wow.
Absolutely wild. Both opponents just gunning for each other back to back to back. All of these Pokemon going for their kind of own 1v1s versus one another there at the end.
GG, that was absolutely crazy. I'm going to go tag our next competitors, Shigu and Nublia.
Hell yeah. While we're going about that, let's go ahead and take a look at the ladder really quickly. See how we're doing. That was absolutely wild, yeah. Next game is going to be versus Cosmic and the Lantern. So Lantern not getting a chance to relax here as he is up once again for another battle. Are we going to see a match? Is Cosmic going to take the win here and go against Dream or Nublius? Actually, no, wait, you are right. Sorry, it is Shigu and Nublius up next.
Yeah, Shigu and Nublius up next. Let's see if anyone has responded. Got a response from Nublius. I haven't seen anything from Shigu yet.
Let's go and take a look at their teams really quick. I'm going to get Shigu and Nublius up. Let's see what we got, guys. So, Shigu rocking Mousehold, Archaludon, Suian Zoroark, Kyogre, Armarouge, and Indeedee Female. Obviously going for the Expanding Force Psychic Surge play with Indeedee. Also rocking Psychic Seed. Pretty good play. With Nublius. Oh,
Lantern just said, wait, Jet scared the fuck out of me whenever you called the wrong match at first.
Sorry, Lantern, my bad. Yep, you are right. That being said, Nublius once again bringing a Mega Ray. We saw him do some pretty good plays around 1 with this. And now with the run back on it, Shigu's first match, we'll see if he's able to take it. especially considering he's now seen what New Blaze is able to do with it. Let's see, have we heard from Shigu yet?
Still nothing from Shigu. Lots
Okay.
of questioning if Shigu's asleep. I know Shigu, I think, is in European time zone.
Gotcha, yeah. He was pinged before the tournament. I'm going to go ahead and start a timer for 8 minutes. We'll see if we hear from him before then.
I think going forward, we may have to put some rules in place about the timer on Showdown.
Yep. Yeah, it's one thing I was noticing. But, you know, that being said, thankfully they got through it. Fun fact, by the way, that was an actual play back in, I believe it was the Sun and Moon days, is running out the timer to be able to, by bringing, like, shiny Pokemon and stuff like that to kind of stall on time.
Yep, anything to get the advantage as long as it's legal.
Yep. That being said, looking at the current ladder, let's go take a look real quick. So we've seen some pretty good plays so far from Nubliest, wiping Vazi out of the tournament completely. Round 1. At this point, it could come down to if Shigu shows up, depending on who wins between Shigu and Nubliest. Could go against Dream. And then, of course, at this point, current people who could end up becoming our second champion is Shigu, Nubliest, Dream, Cosmic, or Lantern.
Yeah, absolutely. Still no response from Shigu. It has been... it's just at 5 minutes here.
Yeah. Also, just want to say, GG to Viri, man. He did so well in our in one of our old monthly melees, and I think that he performed fantastically here as well. He ended up getting knocked out by Lantern, but it just goes to show that, like, once you get into, like, some of the end games of these of this tournament, you know, you start seeing some really powerful threats.
Let's see. Yeah, absolutely. Man, that last game was a nail biter. It really just came down to that Slowking not having access to protect.
Yeah, it really did. Let me take a look really quick. Yeah, that Slowking not having protect, I still think that it would have had a problem dealing with the Raging Bolt, but then again, Raging Bolt was going for Draco Meteor. It very well could have missed any one of those.
Yeah, it was going for Draco Meteor. It could have missed. It was down. I think it was -3, maybe -4 on special attack as well from hitting Draco Meteor so much back to back. Yeah, that was a razor thin matchup for sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
I got about three and a half minutes left for Shigu to respond.
Yep. If he doesn't respond, he is out by default. We're not allowing for matches to go on for too long in between, just because in the previous one of the previous iterations of our monthly melees, we ended up having about an hour's worth of downtime in between a match because somebody didn't know how to do Showdown, which is very unfortunate. But thankfully, we've got things in place for that now. The longest we'll be down is like 10 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do some. Do you have the trainer cards up for Nucleus and Shigu's team? Maybe we can do some theory crafting here while we wait these last few minutes.
I do, absolutely. Let's take a look. So, Shigu running, like I said, Maushold, Archaludon, Hisuian Zoroark, Kyogre, and Armor Rouge, as well as Indeedee. We know what he wants to go for here. It's very obvious.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Indeedee plus Armor Rouge. That's a recipe for absolute mayhem.
Yep. The other thing is, as well, is he's got two partners here, but there's not really a whole lot of overlap. Hisuian Zoroark and Mouseholder are just kind of like placeholders in here with some pretty strong stuff coming from them. But we know that the Kyogre wants to pair with the Archaludon. We know that the Armor Rouge wants to pair with the Indeedee. But without those two pairs, you kind of run the risk of getting shut down completely.
Yep. Yeah. Very, very strong combos, but unfortunately, as soon as as soon as a piece of either of those combos comes apart, the team synergy goes down with it, for sure. And then obviously we've seen Nucleus's team in action. Nucleus has a few different options here that Whimsicott has proven to output insane amounts of damage for being a Whimsicott.
For being a Whimsicott, yeah, absolutely. That being said, if we end up getting a DQ from Shigu, unfortunately, like I said before, we are going to be seeing a run back with Lantern immediately.
Yeah, it'll be. We have 1 minute left for Shigu to respond, and if there's no response, then that'll be a DQ, and it'll be Cosmic versus Lantern.
Yep.
So if those two are watching, if you guys could go ahead and try and start prepping things to get ready. I'm not seeing any typing coming from Shigu.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any typing coming from Shigu. I think that's going to be a DQ from him, unfortunately. Taking a look at our next competitors, however, we've seen both of them do pretty well. Cosmic, super offensive first round. Versus Lantern, who took a lot of time in between his very meticulous switching and very meticulous decision making on his part. I saw a crazy play from him swapping out the Incineroar for the Rillaboom, or swapping the Raging Bolt out before.
Yep, and that is going to be time limit for Shigu. Shigu did not respond.
Yep, unfortunate, but got to be ready for these things. Tournaments are announced weeks ahead, but wish them the best. Wish them the best. And hopefully we'll see them in our next monthly melee.
All right, put a little ping out there about remembering to turn off the battle timer.
Yep.
And I'm going to go ahead and mark this one as in progress.
Perfect. Taking a look at the teams here, yeah, we got like I said, we saw some great switches from Lantern, but we saw a hyper-offensive plays from Cosmic. Lantern could be expecting Cosmic to go for that same thing again, but also double Raging Bolt on either side, but only one of them rocking Booster Energy. With Cosmic can kind of piggyback off of the Groudon coming out. If Lantern throws out his Groudon and gets the Drought up, Raging Bolt could very easily join the field and piggyback off of that to get a big boost without needing to go for anything else.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting matchup, I think. Like I said, a lot of anti-dragon technology on Cosmic's team here, and then there's some answers to a lot of things. One thing that Cosmic is lacking as we look over the team here, there's not a lot of anti-ground offense to take care of Groudon.
Yeah, there's not. Although we've seen that Lantern really likes to fire Terra it, so very well could throw out. Oh, actually, man, yeah, she is missing anything for fire as well.
Yeah, no super effective coverage for sure. For Groudon.
Yeah, it's really gonna have to just be chipping away at it just to take it down. That being said, she is running Assault Vest with Thunderclap, Thunderbolt, Snarl, and Draco Meteor versus Lanterns, who's running Calm Mind with the booster energy. So even though that
timer is still on, we need to get that timer turned off here.
Yeah, make sure you guys turn the timer off so that way y'all aren't limited by that, okay?
There we go. Battle timer is now off.
Okay, are we now in, ready to go?
Yeah. Do you have the link is posted?
Yep, link is posted. Let me go ahead and get that up real quick. Let me go ahead and get my music going.
Alrighty. And as we look at the team previews, man, that is a menacing team to stare across at, no matter which side, which viewpoint you look at.
Yeah, absolutely. There we go, got that set up. Going into round one.
Fluttermane and Incineroar coming in with the Sinistcha and Pheromosa coming out from Cosmic, as we saw in the last match.
Yep. We saw these do some pretty good fucking work, but immediately getting that Intimidate off is going to shut that Pheromosa down just a little bit. So Cosmic very well could be looking for a swap here.
Absolutely. Also, Rage Powder here might not be the best play from the Sinistcha with this Incineroar on board.
Unless it goes for a Water Terra immediately, but I feel like Lantern might expect that.
Could be possible. Water Terra is going to be risky with that. Oh, here we go.
Goes for the fake out. On Pheromosa stayed in. Shadow Ball on the Sinistcha, going to wipe it out immediately. Risky play to stay in, and it showed.
Yep, Sinistcha is out now.
All right, going to bring out the Alolan Ninetales with Snow Warning, yeah. That's probably going to immediately be shut down by the Groudon, but again, could be something that that Cosmic expects, and then decides to bring out the Raging Bolt to piggyback off of that.
Let's see. Probably going to see an Aurora Veil coming from this Ninetale.
Yep, that's true.
Try to get a little bit of protection out.
Yeah, we might see a swap from this this Pheromosa, perhaps. Goes for a U-turn instead. Gets a crit off on the Incineroar. Procs the Citrus. And then, yep, going for the switch into the Baxcalibur. Read from the Flutter.
Big read there. Knock off. Takes out the Light Clay. No, it was a Focus Sash. Sorry.
It was a Focus Sash. And then brings out the Raging Bolt. Wow. Completely wiped out that Baxcalibur. Goes for another Moonblast. Gets a good bit of damage off, but not quite. That Blizzard crit into the Incineroar is going to be enough to wipe it off the map.
Yep. Raging Bolt, not a favorable matchup into Fluttermane. Might see a swap come here.
Yep.
There's now Sun on board as well. Photosynthesis pops for both Fluttermane and Raging Bolt.
Yep, so that's going to be a big thing that I said before is, kind of piggybacking off of that Sun coming out. Terra's into the Fire type. Almost gets destroyed by the Moonblast and goes down on Special Attack because of it. Freeze Stride not going to do a whole lot, but the Heat Crash certainly is.
Yeah, big Heat Crash damage through the Aurora Veil even. Out comes Blaziken.
Yep, Snarl not going to do a whole lot to either side here.
Blaziken probably going to look to Mega. Not a lot of options.
Goes for a Protect, goes for a Thunderclap. And then the only reason why that Raging Bolt was sticking around for so long was because of that Aurora Veil, but it's probably going to be going away here in just another turn. Brings out the Pheromosa. Instead, we're looking at a 2v5 here.
Yep, got a speed boost out from... speed boost coming out from the Mega Blaziken. It's going to make it probably outspeed everything on board here. See if we can spin that into an advantage. Pheromosa at 57% HP You're going to be looking to deal out as much damage as it can before that 57 hits 0.
Yeah, and we know that Groudon's immediately going into that Pheromosa. Pheromosa it is rocking Protect, so it could try and stick around a little bit longer here. I feel like that Blaziken definitely wants to take out... it could try and take out the Groudon before it's able to deal damage to the Pheromosa, and the Pheromosa could go for a... possibly a U-turn into the Flutter. But, that's gonna be a hard read right there.
Yep, could see a double into Groudon here. That's a Protect.
Protect into the Groudon, low kick, and then an Ice Beam into the Fluttermane. But Fluttermane's going to meet it with a Moonblast. Bye-bye, Bug. Fluttermane not really liking roaches in its house. Takes the Bug Spray and gets it out.
Yeah, dug out the can of Raid and let it spray.
Low kick not going to affect Fluttermane because it is a Ghost type. And it's going to go ahead and get doubled into by the Flutter Groudon combo and taken out.
Right, there goes game 1.
It looks like we're going straight into game 2.
Battle timer is still on. You need to get that freaking out. It's because it's a new match.
Yep, gotcha. Oh, they make sure it turned off? I hope they did. Anyways, looks like we're going to start off with the Baxcalibur Alolan Ninetales with the Fluttermane and the Incineroar. Going to immediately get that Intimidate off, but not onto the Baxcalibur, who's rocking a Clear Amulet. Both sides very well could go for anything here. With that Incineroar out on the field, it's pretty scary for these Ice types. Goes for Protect for the Baxcalibur from that Moonblast. Coming out from that Fluttermane. Goes for a Blizzard, but not before that Flare Blitz almost takes it out. That Burn is going to do it, though.
The Burn is going to take
that last little bit. Very unlucky.
Battle timer is now off.
Good.
Out comes the Sinistra. Baxcalibur. Baxcalibur probably gonna look to be swapped out here. Got a very unfavorable matchup into the opposing board.
Yep, Water type onto the Sinistra. Decides not to swap out the Baxcalibur as it immediately goes down to the Moonblast. Machagacha gonna get a little bit of a damage off, but not enough. Knocks off the Citrus Bear, so he can't even proc from it anymore, and brings out the Raging Bolt, who is still gonna be pretty fucking scared of this Fluttermane.
Fluttermane, though, thankfully made of tissue paper, so I think it's going to come down. I don't remember who was faster last time out. Might just come down to speed.
Yeah, of course. Goes for a Thunderclap on the Fluttermane, takes it out. He was faster. Gets the Machagacha out on the Incineroar. Heals back just a little bit and gets a Parting Shot off on that Raging Bolt.
Yeah, Parting Shot gonna get the swap off. Probably gonna see Rillaboom hit the board here. Probably Groudon as well.
Yep. Groudon gets the Photosynthesis boost with the Special Defense, but that can only proc once per match if I remember correctly, so that is it. It is still down on attack and still down on special attack. We do see the Rillaboom pop out. Yep.
Not looking great for the Sinistra, as Rillaboom has access to Grassy Glide and is definitely going to outspeed.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with that Water Terra, it is looking pretty scared right now. Could decide to just completely protect the Raging Bolt and go for a Rage Powder, but goes down to the Grassy Glide. And then looks like Precipice Blades is going to knock out the Raging Bolt. Once again, we are back down to the power couple of Mega Blaziken and Pheromosa.
Yeah, for sure. Rillaboom in trouble here. Both of Cosmic's Pokemon are very strong into Rillaboom offensively.
Yep, gets an ice beam off on the Rillaboom, but not enough to really take it out. Low kick on the ground on, once again taking it down a good bit, but not enough to completely wipe it.
Out comes a U-turn, probably a Precipice Blade's coming. There it is.
Yep, Precipice Blades into both of them, going to wipe them out
game 2.
completely. And that is game 2. Yeah. Congrats to Lantern and GG to Cosmic. Y'all both did great.
Absolutely. Lantern moves into the finals. It is a matchup between Nubliest and Dream as to see who joins her there. Go ahead and tag them both.
Yep, next is going to be Nubliest and Dream, 2 of our league reps. One who's been around for a really long time and has done some great work on the server. And then Nubliest, who has just actually joined on as a league rep and is looking to do a lot more tournaments. Very well could see some great plays from both of them. And I think that this is actually a run back from a match that they had a while back, if I remember correctly. I know Dream and Veery had a match back in, I believe, Halloween during our spooky season, but I'm pretty sure that that Nubliest and Dream have been at a pseudo rivalry as well. Dream starting a lot of rivalries on the server. With just a lot of the strength that he has as a trainer, but Nubliest also showing that he is a strong threat as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm personally very excited for this matchup, and of course for the final as well that followed.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at their teams really quick.
Wow, looking at these teams, again, we have the Mega Ray featured on Nubliest's team, and then Fluttermane, which seems to be the bane of Mega Rayquaza's existence so far this turning, on Dream's team.
Yep. Once again, we're seeing this Ho-Oh come out as well, which no one else has decided to run. But it looks like we have limited time to look over these teams because both competitors are now ready to go. Let's see what they're rocking.
Let's do it.
Round 1 between... let me go ahead and get this up too. Hold up. What am I doing?
Oh yeah, I completely forgot that the Dream's rocking a Metagross. Personally, big fan of that Pokemon.
Mega Meta? Oh yeah. There we go. Yeah, round 1 between Noob and Dream. Looks like they're both kind of getting an idea of what they want to run here. There's not really a whole lot on Dream's team that is scared of that Rayquaza, unlike a lot of other teams that kind of really are, worried about Rayquaza's Delta Stream kind of shutting it down with different stuff. Dream decided to go full send on not even bothering with weather at all. It looks like, and just going for something that kind of just goes against it.
Yeah, both competitors, I think, still looking to pick their lead.
Just letting them know I'm ready real quick to have them start, just in case they're waiting on me. Oh, yep, there they go.
There they go.
A Flamingo and Toys R Us, the Farigiraf, gonna join us on the field, as well as the Magnezone and Incineroar combo.
Wow, not the leads I was expecting, but leads nonetheless.
Yep, Flamingo rocking Scrappy's not going to give a single shit about that Intimidate, and it's not really going to affect the Farigiraf either, running a special set.
Absolutely. Also, it is choiced, meaning it's going to outspeed everything on the board right now. Probably going to see a fake out of this Incineroar to stop the
Flamigo. Yep. And it's not running any protect, so we could see this Flamigo swap out here for something else in order to kind of protect it, but that's going to deal a little bit of damage to whatever ends up getting swapped out, unless it is into the Flutter Mane, in which case Nublius could expect that and go for a knockoff or a parting shot instead.
Yeah, lots of... Oh, Terra Ghosted.
Terra Ghost into the U-turn, which resists. And Flamigo probably going to get swapped out for it. Never mind, Ogerpon instead. Dazzling Gleam going to go into both of them, but not going to deal as much of this Incineroar as it could due to the Ghost typing. Volt Switch onto the Ogerpon. Both teams, or both sides, looking to swap different Pokemon around for that first turn. I'm wondering if this is the play that they were looking for, though, considering they've now both swapped a good amount of their Pokemon.
Yeah, very... Dream, historically, very, very Switch-happy... tactics pretty regularly. So Noob matching that energy. This, I think we're in for a bit of a surprise. There's no telling what's coming out and how long it's going to stay on board.
Yep, Rayquaza coming out and knock off onto the Farigiraf. Is going to take it down almost all the way, but not quite. Yeah, lots of different plays that could be made here. Dazzling Gleam into the opposing side from that Farigiraf is going to really hurt that Rayquaza. However, if it decides to go into that Farigiraf immediately, that's going to knock it out. It definitely outspeeds. Ogerpon, rocking Ivy Cudgel, Hornleaf, Spiky Shield, and Follow Me. Goes and Terra rocks. Goes for the Helping Hand on Toys R Us, but doesn't get anything off of it due to being outsped.
Yeah, Farigiraf goes down, Incineroar goes down.
Yeah, Incineroar goes down to the Ivy Cudgel. My apologies. It was a Helping Hand from the Farigiraf into the Ogerpon. Great play there to maximize that potential from the end of that Farigiraf, and bring out the Flutter Mane to handle the Annihilate.
Also to handle the Rayquaza. And yeah, worth noting too, this is not just an Ogerpon, this is an Ogerpone.
Ogerpone, absolutely. Main Girl here looking to either go for a Dazzling Gleam, I would imagine. Where is Flutter? There it is. Dazzling Gleam or a Moonblast. Rayquaza is rocking Protect, so
yeah.
It could be expecting it. Nublius is gone for double Protect on both of his Pokemon before. But it looks like that Rayquaza is going to go ahead and swap out. Spiky Shield on the Ogerpon just in case it took anything. Ooh. Shadow Claw gonna remove the Flutter Mane from the match.
Yeah, Choice Scarf Annihilate, definitely a recipe for disaster for other Ghost types.
Yeah, definitely not what Dream was expecting. He was expecting to double into, perhaps into the Ogerpon, but didn't get it. He was probably expecting a fighting type move coming out from that Annihilate, considering it's running Final Gambit and Close Combat. He was probably expecting a Final Gambit from the Annihilate into the Ogerpon, but instead, Nublius read that potential read and went for a Shadow Claw instead.
Yeah, worth noting though, it is now choiced into that Shadow Claw.
That is true, yeah. So it's gotta either swap out here or it's gotta stay in. The Magnezone's looking pretty scared against this Flamigo, who could very well go for a Close Combat on it and take it out. And with that being choiced, it's going to outspeed it.
We may just see a double swap. Let's see, Magnezone.
Magnezone's not rocking any Protect. Goes for a swap on the Gastro. Goes for a Close Combat on the Magnezone. Almost taking it out, but not quite. And then that Horn Leech is going to wipe Gastro off the fucking board.
Woo! Huge damage.
Flash Cannon almost going to kill the Ogerpon as well, but not quite.
Yeah, Ogerpon down to 7%. Yikes.
Was it missing HP before on that previous turn? Let's take a look.
It was.
Yeah. So it getting that extra damage off on the extra little bit of HP from that Gastrodon really saved it there.
Yeah, absolutely. And then this Flamigo now choiced into close combat.
Yep, of course, but I don't think it's really sad about that, considering it is now fast and hits hard. Anything
Yep.
that noob sends out, I guess, aside from the Annihilate, but then again, it could just always go into the other side. So, really, this Flamigo is looking pretty good. Nublius is going to have to deal with it.
Yeah, well, Whimsicott, Rayquaza, both very good at dealing with that Mon.
Yeah, that's true. That being said, Ogerpon probably wants to either swap out or go for something here in order to stay in. Perhaps a Grassy Shield or a Spiky Shield or a Horn Leech again. But then again, it could also try and divert attention away from the Flamigo, so that way it can continue to just wombo combo Nublius team and go for a Follow Me instead to divert attention.
For sure. Out comes Whimsicott.
Yep, Whimsicott joins us out on the board. Could very well see a Tailwind here just to make sure that it tries to get those Pokemon outspeeding. I think a Tailwind boosted Rayquaza might just be better than a Choice Scarf Flamigo.
I think we just see a Dazzling Moon. Oh, Moonblast.
Yep, Moonblast from the Whimsicott into the Ogerpon, which did fit Follow Me.
Very interesting. I think if Dazzling Gleam having the splash, I think might have just taken out both Pokemon. But obviously Moonblast got the job done for Ogerpon, so...
Oddly enough, Whimsicott not running Dazzling Gleam.
Oh, you're right.
Not rocking Dazzling
was
Gleam.
thinking.
Rocking Moonblast. I think you were thinking of one of the previous teams. Yeah, Moonblast, Tailwind, Taunt, and Protect. Iron Cross, the Metagross, is going to go ahead and join us out on the field. Likely going to go Mega immediately. And I'm expecting Mega Psychic Fangs, perhaps, into one of these Pokemon, or a Mega Stomping Tantrum.
I think it's going to be Mega Bullet Punch, and I think it's going to be onto this Whimsicott.
Yep, we have seen Nublius Whimsicott do some pretty good fucking damage in the past, being a surprise sweeper. So, I definitely expect that you're right.
I'm probably going to see either Close Combat or Final Gambit, maybe. Then again, I don't know. Not sure what Annihilate's going to go for here. There's Tailwind.
Goes for the Tailwind. Decides to go for the Bullet Punch onto the Annihilate instead. Shadow Claw onto the Flamigo. Really interesting play there. I wonder what both sides were thinking. I think that potentially... Here's what I think happened. I think Dream was expecting Annihilate to swap out into the Rayquaza, and potentially also expecting it to swap out the Whimsicott. That's why he didn't go for it. I think that he was like, okay, I don't want to go for the Rayquaza. That's going to be on the Whimsicott side. I expect him to swap it out instead of going Tailwind. Now Dream's kind of on the back foot with this Tailwind up.
Yeah, now I think we definitely are going to see a swap from Whimsicott into Rayquaza, and probably a coaching from Annihilate, too.
Yep.
Wow. Very interesting how this is playing out so far. Not exactly what I would have expected to have happened.
Yeah. What I would do personally if I was Dream, I would double into that Whimsicott side, since we know it's going to be swapping here for that Rayquaza. Either way, you take out the Whimsicott. I think is the biggest play here. What would shock me, honestly, if we swapped the Annihilate. What is the Annihilate choiced into? Shadow Claw? Still? Oh, it's choiced, yeah, so he can't go for coaching.
Oh, true. He may... Oh, I know what we're going to see. We're going to see Protect from Whimsicott, and we're going to see the Annihilate swap over.
Yep, that's true. And so Dream probably expects that, knowing that he's choiced into Shadow Claw. We see a Ho-Oh come out.
Ho-Oh.
We see a Protect on the Whimsicott. We see Bullet Punch into the Whimsicott. And Shadow Claw, crit
wow.
Shadow Claw onto the Ho-Oh. Wow. Interesting
Very
plays,
interesting.
yeah.
Still no swaps.
Yeah, still no swaps on either side. We were wrong on pretty much all accounts. Is that Dream would expect the swap and go for the Annihilate, and that that Noob would swap altogether. He is very comfortable having these two out on the field together, holding hands, and Dream just did not expect it. Whimsicott, Dream wants that Whimsicott gone. Annihilate joining us out of the field. Pretty even on both sides. We do have the Rayquaza down by about 50%, and the Annihilate down 30. The Ho-Oh is taunted currently, so it cannot go for the same
Protect,
move.
yep.
Yeah, I can't go for Protect. The
right.
Flamigo doesn't really have a whole lot going on in the back. 25%, and against a Annihilate Rayquaza, not really going to do too much.
Hear me out. I think we're going to see a Brave Bird into this Annihilate.
Brave Bird from the Ho-Oh, that's pretty risky. Bullet Punch onto the Rayquaza. Final Gambit from the Annihilate. Going to take him out, but not enough to take out the fucking
there was a Brave Bird.
And Brave Bird, takes him out. That's game one. Oh, crazy set of plays there. We're
if there's sorry, go.
No, I was gonna say we just can't expect what's gonna come out of these two.
Yeah, I was gonna say if there's one thing that I have learned about watching these two go at each other, it's that they are not they're not very predictable.
No, not at all. Yeah. It's some of the first matches that we've seen that we're not able to predict at all. We're really struggling to figure out what's going to happen and what's going to go on, because both opponents are thinking of things that we aren't even imagining.
Yeah, I think Noob also was looking for that Ho-Oh to be going for Tailwind, which is why he threw out that taunt. And then when Dream had decided to go for the Sacred Fire instead, I think it probably caught Noob off guard just as much as it did us.
Yep. Yeah, wow. Again, just goes to show the level of play that we're seeing here just in this final tournament of the year. And tragically, just to remind everyone that typically how we do these tournaments is the one who wins the tournament does have one final battle versus our previous champion. Our previous champion, unfortunately, not part of the server anymore, meaning that whoever is the winner here will become our champion uncontested. Not during this match, but just the tournament in general.
Yes, They are good to let them know they're good to start, if you would.
Yes, you guys are good to start. I should probably join in. Oh, well. Well, they are good to go. There they go. We're seeing round 2 between Dream and Noob.
Gastrodon and Incineroar.
Yep, when you see once again the Farigiraf and the Flamigo join us out on the field.
Yep, once again I think we're probably going to see a fake out play onto this Flamigo to stop it from being able to just wreak havoc.
Yep, who did we see last time from Noob's team? Very first round was from was Gastro, or was in the Incineroar, but who joined him? Was it the Gastro? Either way,
Magnus, I believe
it was Magazine. Okay. Either way, we see a close combat come out from the Helping Hand boosted Flamigo. Yawn coming out from the Gastro to try and shut down this momentum that this fucking boxing glove bird has. Rayquaza coming out, gonna get airlock up and probably go Mega immediately to shut down any sort of weather shenanigans and to remove its flying disadvantage.
Yep, probably going to get a U-turn out of Flamigo. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. It is choice. We cannot get a U-turn out of it. We're probably going to have to just dry swap it.
Yeah, that's if he doesn't just keep it in. It is drowsy currently, but Dream's probably thinking about what potentially he can really get out of this thing. Does he go for another close combat and just try and bang it out, or because he kept it in the back pocket the entire last match, because he kind of knows that this thing has the power to fucking wipe one of these Pokemon out if it needs to.
Yep, which is exactly why I think it's gonna be looking to get swapped out here so that he can have it in the back pocket for later this time. Because if it falls asleep, there's no way it survives.
That's true. We could see a swap into the Flutter here in order to try and go against this Rayquay, but not really a whole lot. If he does that, not really a whole lot this Rayquay can do. Not running anything other than Dragon or Normal. Goes for Dragon Ascent instead into the Ogerpon, so he didn't expect the Flutter Mane at all, and gets Ogerpon down quite a bit.
Yeah, Ogerpon's going to look to Horn Leech himself back up here off this Gastrodon because he knows that Horn Leech is going to be a one-tap.
Yep, of course. And that being said, Noob probably expects that and is going to swap out for the, if I had to pick one, Flutter. Or not Flutter, fucking Whimsicott.
Yeah, either Whimsicott or potentially Magnezone. There's
Magnezone. Keeps the Gastrodon out. Boosts up the Ogerpon again. Goes for Dazzling Gleam onto the Magnezone, but not going to do a whole lot. Only 10. And then gets the Yawn off on the Farigiraf, which is now Night-Night. Rayquaza comes back out and joins back on the field.
Very, very interesting.
Yep, absolutely. A Noob already down 2 Pokemon.
Very, very true. But as long as Mega Rayquaza is in play, this game can still go either way.
Yeah, of course. Ho-Oh, still a decently strong Pokemon in the back, but kind of a niche pick altogether. That being said, going against a powerhouse like Mega Rayquaza, it's interesting to see how his team sort of coordinates with each other. Spiky Shield. Sword Stance from the Rayquaza, probably expecting it, because obviously this Farigiraf can't really do anything. Electro Web getting out on the field.
Very, very interesting. Can't continue to allow the Rayquaza to set up, or it's going to be game over.
Yes, exactly.
Not a lot on board that can deal with the Rayquaza right now either. Dragon Ascent into Ogerpon. Ogerpon goes down.
Yep, didn't go down the first turn. Rayquaza boosted and made sure it went out the fucking third. Volt Switch into the Farigiraf, who is just kind of a sitting duck here on the field. Unable to really do too much, but also still tanky enough to survive on the field.
Probably going to see Annihilate come in for coaching strats.
If it does, I think that is curtains. If this Rayquaza gets boosted anymore, yep, there's the Annihilate. Ooh,
Dazzling Gleam.
Stays in. There's a reason that Farigiraf is still in. It gets that Dazzling Gleam off. Not enough to take out the Rayquaza, but that Rayquaza probably wants to get the fuck out now or try and heal up some way.
This changes the entire dynamic of the board right now because Rayquaza is now definitely in kill range.
Yes.
And we've got the Choice Scarfed Flamigo back on board.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever Noob was going for before, I think it's now on the back end as he's worried about keeping this Rayquaza alive. He might want to just swap it, or might just want to sack it here and just try and nuke one of these Pokemon.
Very interesting watching this play.
It really makes you think as well, because this Rayquaza, even though it is really strong, other than having high potential to output damage, it doesn't really have much to do in this sort of matchup. Again, Dream doesn't run any weather Pokemon, so that kind of removes that aspect from that benefit from Noob's Rayquaza. Ultimately, what I think that he should do, man, yeah, even if he wanted to try and coaching boost one of these other Pokemon, it's not going to really do too much. After this, swaps out for the Magnezone, because for Brave Bird on it, it takes a little bit of recoil. Goes for Dragon Ascent on the Farigiraf.
Flamigo take advantage of that knowledge and swap out. There it is into the Ho-Oh, so that we have fire available.
Flying type Magnezone, protect on the Rayquaza. Bullet Punch from the Metagross. And Thunderbolt going to deal some good damage to Ho-Oh.
Yep, and then Rayquaza has access to extreme speed. We might see an E-speed and just go for a sack to get rid of the Ho-Oh. We might see a swap. Lots of options here for Rayquaza, even at 3% HP.
Yeah, if he does go for a swap, the only thing that he can really swap into is either the Annihilate or the Whimsicott. If he swaps into Whimsy, it's just done from the Bullet Punch. But the Annihilate is already at 64%, so it with a Metagross, it might be enough to just take it out.
Absolutely, it's very possible. Ho-Oh, of course, could go for a Tailwind, could go for Protect, could go ahead and launch that Sacred Fire into the Magnezone. Magnezone does not have access to Protect.
Yep, I think ultimately, like, considering we just saw a Protect come... Or actually, did we see a Protect from that? No, we saw... Yeah, we saw a Protect. Is that a double Protect?
That is a double Protect.
Double Protect from the Rayquaza.
Wow.
Sacred Fire onto the Magnezone. Thankfully, didn't even bother going into the Magnezone. Or into the Rayquaza. Went with it with Bullet Punch, sure, but the Sacred Fire onto the Magnezone thankfully allowed him to get at least some sort of momentum off that turn. Double Protect is fucking crazy, again.
Noob harkening back to the September tourney that he won and popping double Protect.
Yep.
All right, does he go for oh baby a triple?
No, absolutely not. Would be fucking wild. Nyla gonna join us out on the field. We're not getting a coaching here. There's no fucking shot.
Yeah, we're gonna get a final Gambit.
Yeah, final Gambit into the Mega Meta. He could be really fucking funny here and swap it for the fucking Boxing Glove Bird. Just final Gambiting that, but man, there's not really... Well, or he could Final Gambit the... he could read the swap and decide to go... Or read the Final Gambit, go for the Flutter. Flutter's not affected by that, being a fighting type.
True. Being a ghost, yeah.
Yeah, being a ghost into a fighting type move. So that being said, like, could try and read that.
There's
E-Speed into the Bird. Bullet Punch into the Lizard. And then
There's
Final
Final
Gambit into the Metagross. Wow, did we just read a turn? I can't remember the last time I picked up a fucking book for these two.
Look, first time for everything.
We see the Bird join us back out. Bird up.
This one looks like it's gonna go to Dream. Just looking at Pokemon for Pokemon.
Yeah, Magnezone's not running any
stat.
Protect. We're definitely gonna see a close combat come out from the Flamigo into the Magnezone. And a Sacred Fire into the Whimsy.
More likely we see a Brave Bird since it's Terra Flying Magnezone.
You are right.
There's a
Brave Bird into Magnezone. Goodbye. Moonblast.
Ooh.
Into the Flamigo. Gonna take it out.
But it is...
GG
oh, it's
from
not
Noob.
too late. It's not too late.
It's late.
Focus Sash, and
late.
there's the Bird.
It's midnight, bro. The lights the parents have turned on the porch light. It's pretty fucking late.
Oh man, what a game!
What a fucking game, yeah. GG. Was that 2-0?
That was 2-0.
That's 2-0. Wow. GG to Noob and Dream. Y'all did great.
All right, as Dream versus Lantern for the final.
Is that the? Let's take a look real quick. Let's go to ladder. Yeah, Dream and the Lantern. Dream not getting a break here, but we're seeing two league reps. New versus old, joining the fray.
Wow, what a match!
Yeah, absolutely, what a match. All right, let's take a moment before this final match. I'm gonna go get a glass of water, but I'm also gonna pull up the team really quick, and then we'll go ahead and discuss it and see what we're going for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Dream and Lantern.
I'm also gonna take advantage of that water break opportunity.
Yeah, good idea. All right, guys, be right back. Feel free to chat and stream, and we'll see you guys here in just a moment.
All right, I'm back and ready to go. Uh-oh, looks like I am all by myself. Let's peek in on the stream. All right, everybody watching, how are we doing? How do you feel about the tournament so far? You're never alone, says Aimless. Dude, it's been electric. This has been one hell of a tourney. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really feeling this single elimination style run that we've been doing for this one versus the double elim that we had with the previous with the melees.
All right, I am back, and yeah, no, I agree. It's actually like it goes a lot faster, and it kind of is like it removes that sort of element of like, you know, hey, I still have a chance kind of thing. Instead, it like every match that you go against is literally like, oh shit, this could be my last. This could be it.
Yeah. Also, a big fan of how it takes away that opportunity to throw your first game in order to like jump into losers bracket too.
Yes, exactly. So that being said, how we feel, and let's take a look at these teams going against each other real quick. So obviously, again, both who made it to the finals, neither one of them ran Rayquaza. Everyone did, except for these two, and they wind up in the finals together.
Hey, no worries, Shigu. You know, there's always a chance for the next turning.
Yep, Shigu just messaged in chat, said I set a 2-hour alarm and couldn't wake up. No, that's completely fine. We'll see you next monthly Melee and hopefully in the next championship tournament, you know. But, you know, feel free to join us here for the finale to this tournament. It's an explosive one at that. Double Fluttermane. We got Metagross, Metagross versus
No Mega on
Lantern's team.
Drifblim coming out on Lantern's team here. We haven't seen a whole lot from Drifblim besides setting Tailwind. So I wonder if we're going to see some different strats come out from it this time.
It is a bit of a weird pick, not going to lie. I'm not really expecting a whole lot from it, but you know, Lantern saw something in it that no one else did. And the biggest thing about that as well is like we've seen teams in the past in this format that allows for restricteds and limiteds and apexes, teams that have not ran a single one of those and have just opted for niche strong Pokemon and have succeeded. We saw it with Fury in one of our previous tournaments running a Alolan Ninetales, and that thing fucking swept. And now we're seeing it here. Yeah, we're still seeing some limiteds and restricteds with Groudon and Ho-Oh, but neither one of them decided to run the biggest Apex right now, which is Mega Ray.
Yeah, it was Nublius that was running that Alolan Ninetales that went crazy.
It was Nublius.
But we also did see Veery running a Jellicent, and
that's
comboing,
right. Yep.
Comboing that in with a Basculegion just for crazy sustain and high damage out. Was a wild combo from that. It's always neat to see how different things work in our formats versus the way they work in the regular competitive scene.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, with
we got a link.
Oh, looks like we're getting into it. Got 2 links. Again, make sure you guys got timer off, and we'll be ready to go.
All right. I'm going to tell them that we're good.
Yep. Looks like we got our leads already. Looks like we're immediately running with Farigiraf and the Flamigo, as well as the Incineroar, Fluttermane.
Wow. Yeah, Flamigo not giving an absolute shit about the Intimidate either.
Yeah, no, definitely not. And neither does this, does the Farigiraf, considering that we saw it do that same thing with the previous team. Hey, you guys are good to go, by the way. Whenever y'all are ready. Yeah, Flamigo not really able to do too much here, obviously against the Fluttermane, and kind of being scared of that that fairy typing could very well wipe it out. They can go pretty good into the Incineroar, but I feel like it's gonna be since the Flamigo is choiced, we could see a close combat into the Incineroar taking it out, and then immediately followed by a Moonblast from Flutter taking out the Flamigo. We see instead of Terra Grass, U-turn into the Flutter. So again, unable to read anything that it dreams up to.
Yep, I was curious if we were going to get the U-turn. Wasn't expecting it to U-turn into Ho-Oh, but I guess after seeing the Terra Grass, that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. Knockoff into the Farigiraf, going to take it out. Icy Wind hit the Farigiraf and then missed the Ho-Oh. So Ho-Oh looking pretty good on the field, and brings out the Flamigo again, which I thought was gonna be more spooked of this ghoul on the other side, Fluttermane, but instead just isn't at all.
I think we're gonna see another U-turn here, and I think it's gonna go into this Incineroar because it's now Terra Grass, and then we'll probably see something like either Metagross or Ogerpon come out.
That is true, yeah. Anything that the Ho-Oh can run could easily get a Tailwind out to try and get some early momentum going on the field for Dream's team. Could try and just go for a Protect, reading that the Flutter might go into it.
Yep. Fluttermane also. Fluttermane could try and call the bluff on that Flamigo and just full send it with Moonblast. Could throw a Protect up just in case.
Yeah, either way, regardless of what it does, though, instead the Incineroar swaps out. Protect on the Flutter. Brave Bird onto the Driftblim. And then Sacred Fire onto the Flutter. You can't expect anything.
Look, I called the Protect. I'm going to take it.
Yeah, both these opponents really kind of going against everything that we're thinking on the surface level. It just kind of goes to show the deeper thought that's going on here of what they're reading. You know, as Wolfie VGC said, you know, you go into these tournaments and you think like, okay, hey, what's something that they could possibly use? You got to think like 3 or 4 turns ahead of like what you're wanting to do, and that's showcased in no better place than right here, I think, where both opponents are thinking of like, you know, not just of what they could go for, but also, okay, what could I go for? But what could they go for? What's their play here? What are they wanting, and how do I stop it?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, swap into Metagross, swap into Raging Bolt.
Gets the Photosynthesis off due to the booster energy. Gets the Sacred Fire off, and gets that burn.
Tailwind.
And then a Tailwind from the Driftblim.
This Metagross rocking Stomping Tantrum. Bad news for Raging Bolt.
Very bad news for Raging Bolt. Could very well swap back into the Rillaboom, but could read that instead.
Yeah. I think the question here is whether we're going to get a Protect from Ho-Oh or a swap from Ho-Oh, because Raging Bolt's a huge threat.
Yep, that's true. Again, we could also see him keep Ho-Oh in, go for a Tailwind of his own, just to shut down the foes, and go from there.
Yep, absolutely true. There's the Mega.
Thunderclap. Acrobatics, double into the Metagross, probably expecting a swap. Stomping Tantrum into the Raging Bolt, goodbye. And then not a swap from the Ho-Oh. Again, we expected something else. Goes for a Sacred Fire instead.
And just like that, Dream is now up in total Pokemon count.
Yep.
Out comes Groudon. Out comes Incineroar.
Yep. Dream playing extremely aggressive here. Not caring about swapping or pulling out at all, but just going full send on it. Kind of echoing back to Cosmic's game of just going into it and just taking out as much as you can as quick as you can. Lantern trying to set up with stuff like Sun and Tailwind, but against a train, it's going to be hard to suplex.
Yeah, 100% here. This Incineroar is going to either have to swap or go for a fake out on this Ho-Oh, because with it being Terra Grass, it will absolutely melt to Sacred Fire.
Yep, that's true. We could see perhaps a Psychic Fangs or a Bullet Punch into the Metagross, or from the Metagross. We could also see a swap from the Metagross into something else that might be a bit better for this matchup against the Groudon.
Yeah, Precipice Blades are probably going to come out from this Groudon, which is a nightmare situation for Metagross. Yep. Could just see a Protect to feel it out. Maybe see what's happening. Yep, there it is.
Yep, exactly. Double Protect from both sides. Heat Crash and a knockoff. Decided not to go for the Precipice Blades. Now Dream has to swap here. He has to swap one of his Pokemon at least. I feel like this Metagross still wants to get the fuck out of there.
Yep, I think this Incineroar also still wants to get the fuck out of there, so probably going to see a swap on each side, or they're going to do something else I don't expect and be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we expected a swap that last round, but we didn't get it from the Incineroar, so it wants to stay in. Personally, I would get that thing out and get it ready to intimidate both the... Well, actually, you can't intimidate the Flamigo, but you can do it with the Ogerpon. Heat Crash into the bird, doesn't end up getting anything out of it, and then Flare Blitz, but the burn gets that Ogerpon down. Sacred Fire gonna take out the Incineroar, like you said, but Ogerpon meets its end as well. And the Tailwind is gone.
Pretty insane thus far. The question is, do we see... Oh, we see Flamigo come back out. Immunity to Precipice Blades, probably not a terrible choice.
Yep, Flamigo and the Flutter are going to join us back on the field. Harkening back to what Descendant said, this match is electric.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Ho-Oh on board. Fluttermane, obviously bad news for the Flamigo here. So I don't know if we're going to see Flamigo swap, or if we're going to see Dream just full send and try and maybe double into this Fluttermane.
Did we see a Terra from the Ogerpon? Did Ogerpon get a chance to Terra?
I don't believe it had the time. I think it instantly exploded.
We could see a Terra flying from the Flamigo, shut down its thing with Moonblast and Dazzling Gleam from the Fluttermane or the Moonblast.
True.
But then again, could read that and go for an Icy Wind, so that's not really a safe play either.
Yeah, I think the best bet's probably just to get that Flamigo out of there, but these guys have been doing unpredictable stuff all night, so
yeah, absolutely.
Lots of thought going into whatever they're doing.
Absolutely, yeah. Fluttermane boosted with its special attack. I feel like it wants to nuke something. If it if we see a swap into the Metagross, a Moonblast is going to still do some pretty decent damage, and Metagross is already down to 47. I don't think it's going to kill.
I almost wonder if a Brave Bird into... There's a Protect.
Yep, there's Protect. There's Protect. Brave Bird into the Flutter, and Heat Crash onto the Flamigo. Takes it out.
And now here comes Dream's Fluttermane.
Yep. Both girls going out in the town. We'll see who goes down first. Notably, one of them has higher special attack than it does speed. So it looks like Dreams is built more with speed. That's why it boosted with Photosynthesis with speed instead. That being said, Fluttermane on Dale's side is choice spect, so even then, regardless of the fact that it has higher speed, it's actually on a better play here, considering it has its special attack already boosted.
Absolutely. Worth noting, there was a protect.
Yep, and here's the thing, is Shadow Ball into whatever was in that slot, regardless of whether it was Flutter. Ooh, heavy slam, gonna take it out, though. And Sacred Fire into a Groudon's not really gonna do a whole lot.
Rough situation looking so far for game 1.
Yeah, Fluttermane still protected in the back. It could have very well gone down to that Shadow Ball had he kept it in. But the fact that he pulled it out and then heavy slammed the Fluttermane, who was definitely looking to deal some damage onto that left side, but wasn't enough to take out Rillaboom, even being a Choice Specs boosted Flutter. And it wasn't enough to withstand the Heavy Slam. Now going against Lantern's 3 Pokemon left, even though Groudon's about to go down, Groudon can still very easily protect and stay in while Rillaboom does some more chip damage against either opponent on the other side.
Yep.
Or we could see another swap into Flutter.
My prediction from Lantern's side is we're going to see a Fake Out and a Protect.
Yep, that's true. Rillaboom did just join us on the field, so Fake Out is very much on the menu. Could go for a double protect on Dream side just to get rid of that Fake Out sort of pressure.
Yeah, definitely possible. Both sides putting a lot of thought in here.
Yep.
If Lantern goes for the Protect on Groudon, and if Dream reads it, there's a good chance that a Bullet Punch, if Rillaboom fakes out Ho-Oh, there's a good chance that the Bullet Punch onto Rillaboom could still get the job done.
That's true, but I think that that Lantern's thinking about that. A Fake Out into Metagross would shut that down completely. And while that's being said, I can see Lantern's pretty pressured right now as well, because if Dream doesn't go for the double protect here on both of his Pokemon, Sacred Fire is enough to take out the Rillaboom, yeah. And like you said, Bullet Punch is enough to take out the Groudon. Protect on the Metagross, protect on the Groudon, U-turn on the Metagross, and Sacred Fire onto the Rillaboom. Wow, bad play there for Lantern. He's now down to his last 2 Pokemon, meeting eye to eye with Dream. Flutter's going to go ahead and protect, likely expecting a Bullet Punch, which it gets. Precipice Blades onto the Metagross, taking it out, leaving just the Ho-Oh. However, it takes out the Groudon. It is now Sacred Bird versus Horrible Demon.
It is a 1v1 in game 1 between Lantern and Dream here.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. Neither one really has much that it can go for that is stronger. Fluttermane on Lantern's side, rocking a Focus Sash, goes for a Shadow Ball, gets a crit on the
Sacred Fire
on the Ho-Oh. Sacred Fire purges the demon.
Ho-Oh just too beefy. Wow, game 1 comes to a nail biter of a finish.
Dream brings Sacred Fire and purges the demon from these fucking lands.
Wow.
You want to talk about that damn bird that Dream hates? Talk about that damn Fluttermane that Dream despises.
I'm gonna take this bird I hate and wipe you from existence.
Absolutely. Wow. What a fucking game. That was great.
Man.
Leading into game 2 now. We'll just see how they switch up their teams or who goes for what this time around.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely crazy. Wow, man.
Yeah, it's I'm fucking surprised too. I knew that we were going to see some great plays here, but man, just seeing what everyone's bringing to the table, it's awesome. Starting off with Farigiraf and Ogerpon versus Rillaboom and the Raging Bolt. Both sides can easily go for some setup. We saw this Farigiraf on the field before immediately get wiped out on the last round.
Very true. Could see Helping Hand.
Yeah, Helping Hand
like
going
Helping Hand,
into the Ogerpon. Yep. At that point, it's just a case of what Lantern reads that Ivy Cudgel is going to go into and protects, or either swaps out the Raging Bolt or tries to fake out the Ogerpon before it's able to.
Could also see something wild like Trick Room Spiky Shield.
Yeah. Either way, we are definitely going to be seeing a fake out from that Rillaboom. So, neither one of Lantern's Pokemon are running Protect at all, so it is hyper offensive there. And the Rillaboom is going to be able to withstand a good bit of damage with that Assault Vest. I could definitely see. Let's see. We have the Farigiraf and the Ogerpon. Both there are running. Actually, no. Sorry. Ogerpon is running a form of Protect. Farigiraf is not. So either way, yeah, you're right. We could see a Helping Hand or Trick Room from that Farigiraf.
We could also just see him say "fuck it" and full send with Dazzling Gleam.
Wild. Helping Hand, Ivy Cudgel takes out or gets the Raging Bolt down quite a bit. U-turn goes into the Ogerpon and does a good bit of damage there, and then brings out the Driftblim, hopefully to get up the Tailwind. But Draco Meteor is going to wipe out Farigiraf.
Farigiraf went down early last time too, and Dream still managed to clutch it up. So Just because he's down a Pokemon doesn't mean he's out yet. And we see Fluttermane hit the board.
Yep, similarly to Driftblim, because Driftblim seems to its main purpose. What is my purpose? It is to set up Tailwind and die. And it seems like Farigiraf is to boost Ogerpon once and then die.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you a Helping Hand and fucking explode.
And leave. Thunderclap onto the Fluttermane, not going to be enough to take it down, and there's the Tailwind. Dazzling Gleam is going to be enough to get rid of the dinosaur.
And Ivy Cudgel, and just like that, Dale's back up in Pokemon count.
What took out the dinosaurs? The Fluttermane!
Very curious what we see come out next here. Fluttermane
okay. With the Rillaboom. Yep. We're going to see...
Alright, now we already know that Dale's Fluttermane is faster here, so maybe it could look for a Shadow Ball onto the other Fluttermane.
No, decides to go for a swap instead. Spiky Shield onto the Ogerpon, which protects from the U-turn and gets a little bit of damage off. And a Shadow Ball onto Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh once again staring down this fucking Fluttermane. Like, I will exorcise you from this fucking world with Sacred Fire. And we know this Ho-Oh has the ability to do so.
Absolutely. There's a Grassy Glide.
Grassy Glide, Icy
Incoming
Wind.
Icy Wind.
Yep, gonna take out the Ogerpon.
Goes down.
Sacred Fire gonna miss the Fluttermane. Like I said, tries to exercise it. This time, he's fucking ready. Brings out the Metagross.
Things are not looking good for Lantern's side of the board into these particular two. Very curious to see what they do here. Probably going to get a U-turn out of the Rillaboom. Probably going to get a Protect out of the Fluttermane. But also could see something completely unexpected because it's near impossible to read these two when they're trying to read each other.
Yeah, absolutely. That being said, yeah, we could see an immediate Protect from the Metagross expecting something. From the opposing side, I do feel like this Fluttermane wants to get the fuck out of there. It dodged one Sacred Fire. Can it dodge another? It doesn't really have anything that it can do against a Metagross and Ho-Oh. It could also, and it has Protect. Could go for Protect instead. and stay on the board just a little bit longer and just shut down anything that Dream wants to go for. This Rillaboom, it's been on the field for a little bit, so fake out's out of the question. We could see a swap from them as well. Goes for the Mega Metagross, keeps the Flutter Mane in, survives with its Focus Sash, goes for a Shadow Ball.
Whoa! It doesn't kill.
Doesn't kill
the
because
U-turn.
Yep, and there's the U-turn. Wow. And then Sacred Fire into the Flutter Mane, gonna take it out. Doubled into the Flutter Mane just to make sure it was gone. We know Dream hates Flutter Mane.
Yeah, Dale and I on the exact same page about that.
Brings out the Groudon, gets Sun up. Dream probably wanting to get his own Flutter Mane out to benefit off of that. Photosynthesis boosted, Choice Specs boosted, Flutter Mane, possibly going also for a Terra and just going fucking ham against the opposing side. That's going to be a scary fucking match.
Yep. Metagross probably going to look for a Protect here, staring down the barrel of like a Heat Crash or a Precipice Blades. Incineroar, I thought would go for Fake Out.
Nope, we see a Heavy Slam to take out the Flutter Mane that came out. And a Flare Blitz into the Metagross. Expected to Protect. Probably doubled into the Flutter Mane just to make sure that it fucking died.
Now that there's no Flutter Mane threat, Dale said, it's time!
Yep, we're bringing out the... brought out his own, but it immediately got wiped out. Now we're seeing a pretty even match between the two. Still, both down to 3 Pokemon. We'll see how much momentum this Flamigo is able to do. We might see another Grass Terra from the Incineroar, but it kind of got fucked for it last time.
Very, very true. Not a lot of good being Grass type is going to do against this Flamigo.
Yeah, of course. The other thing as well is, could expect that. I can't expect anything, man. The Grass type.
There it is.
And the close combat to resist it a little bit.
Bullet Punch? No Bullet Punch. Psychic Fangs. Wow.
Psychic Fangs into it, yeah. Probably expecting that the Rilla would come out. Gets the knockoff of the Choice Scarf, so that way Flamigo can now use whatever the fuck it wants.
Very interesting. I fully expected a Brave Bird to come off of this Flamigo, not a close combat.
I expected a close combat because the Incineroar was Dark type. And even then, if he swapped out for the Rilla, it would be pretty good. I guess a Brave Bird would have been better in that case either way, expecting, because either Grass, Terra, Incineroar, or Rillaboom. So yeah, probably would have been better to have thrown out a Brave Bird there, you're right.
But now we have a Grass-type Incineroar in against a Ho-Oh with Sacred Fire. So that's not looking too great for him. Honestly, there's not a lot left on Lantern's team that can deal with this Ho-Oh effectively.
Yeah, even being a Pokemon up, Dream has birded the fuck up and is ready to go full foul on it. He's ready to fucking wipe him out. Groudon, maybe a Heavy Slam might do some work on Ho-Oh, but I doubt it.
Yeah, being a Fire type, I doubt it.
Yeah. That being said, yeah, there's not really a whole lot that Lantern can go for, and it's showing with how much time both are taking to figure out what's going on here.
Yeah, and it's no longer choiced into close combat, so it could very well pop out Brave Bird this time around to sort of
just completely lock that left side down. We're going to see a Brave Bird. It's going to take out the Rillaboom, but it's going to get that grassy terrain up, and a Heat Crash is going to take out the other bird. Sacred Fire into Groudon is going to end it.
And then with Incineroar being Terra Grass type, I think it's all she wrote.
I think it's all she wrote.
We're about to put a bow on the 2025 Quarter 4 Vulkan Championship Tournament.
Yep. We're gonna see a Sacred Fire, and that's gonna end it.
GG to all competitors.
Yeah.
Wow, what a tournament.
Yeah, congratulations to Dream as Cobblemon Vulkan's 2026 Quarter 4 champion. Gonna be doing some great things there. And I cannot wait to see him hold that position and see how he maintains it and protects it for Quarter 1's championship tournament coming up next year.
Absolutely. Dream 2-0ing every match he was in, by the way.
Wild. Absolutely wild. Just completely clean sweeping the board. And not without any sort of like opposition. Dream, a lot of those matches were completely clutch. Even this one, at the beginning, down to his from the very first match to the second one, down to his last Pokemon.
Yep. And Dream also did so without running what everyone thought, including myself, including even Dale, was the strongest Mon in our current format, being Mega Rayquaza.
No, it's like I said before, having the final two Pokemon, or the final two teams, not run Mega Ray, it just goes to show you expect the unexpected when it comes to competitive Pokemon. Wolfie VGC has done it all the time, where he brings something that's completely off meta to a tournament to make sure that he can both combat the meta and combat the meta to the meta. You know what I mean? Like go against both threats.
Yeah, such a fun tournament to watch and be a part of. Had a great time commentating this one. Can't wait for our first Melee of 2026. And wow, just what a showstopper.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that everyone did great, and I'm sorry that of like just how everything went. And I'm just excited to see how our competitive format's going to evolve for 2026. This will be the last tournament of the year, guys, as well. So again, if you guys are tuning in from a separate server, or you haven't started playing Cobblemon Vulkan yet, feel free to tune in. We have an amazing spawn. We have an amazing community behind this. Not just the competitive scene, but also the casual scene. We have a lot of great features here on the server that you can sink your teeth into and enjoy this amazing community that we built here.
Absolutely. And hey, if you've never played Cobblemon before, it's not too late to start. If you like Pokemon, if you like Minecraft, it's a perfect blend here. There's plenty of things to do on the server. And if you're into competitive Pokemon, maybe you can join us and then be in on the next tournament that happens.
Exactly, yeah. See if you can dethrone our now champion. So come on down, come join us. And as always, we'll see you guys next time.